All right. Yeah, man. So how you been? It's been a while.
Um, Damn, it really has been a while, huh? Yeah, there's been
Yes.
a lot of personal shit going on.
Yeah, man. You
Nothing
good?
me personally, body, but other people's just like, damn.
Yeah, it seems
Um,
that way.
yeah, my grandmother had medical issues that I'm gonna keep that in house. But
Hmm.
yeah, one of the kids I kind of raised a little bit over the years got into a bad wreck.
Hmm.
Damn near died.
Jesus
Had
Christ.
one of those poles go straight through her chest. Almost missed her heart.
Fuck.
Barely missed her heart. And she's at the hospital now. She's on. They got her on this walker thing now. So, um, yeah. Ironically, ironically, her nickname is Little Bray. So,
Hmm.
one of my favorite wrestlers, a little girl that I looked after for many years, is pretty much has the same nickname as one of my favorite wrestlers who's no longer with us.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
But
But I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah, it's been quite the thing. But I don't know. It's last couple of weeks have been pretty straight though.
Yeah, man. I'm kind of in the same boat. Um, it's. I mean, not to compare, but it's just like it hasn't been great for the past month. Um, I mean, we lost a friend. You know, we all lost a friend.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yes, yeah.
and that's something I'm still trying to do on my own because like I've never. This is probably my first like big real loss of somebody. Um, because I've lost like friends, but like not to sound like mean, but like they were more like acquaintances, where it's just like oh
Right.
they died, that sucks. But like this was like the first time I lost somebody I was close to,
Yeah.
and it still doesn't feel real. Um, and I remember I was telling my sister about it, and because I volunteered at this like anime convention last week, and we are just talking about shit, and she
Yeah, I
was
seen
asked,
pictures you had up there. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and she was asking me how are you dealing with it. I'm like, I'm just trying to do things to keep my mind off of that, and a few other things. I've been exercising lately. I've been going walks right after I get out of work, and on my days off, I get up early and I go to the gym. I just went today. Um, so I do things just to kind of keep my mind at ease and just keep it away from other things. So there's that. Um, and there's stuff going on with my dad, which I don't kind of like you just said. I'm just going to keep it in house.
Yeah.
Um, stuff going on with his health and stuff going on with mental health and stuff going on with my immediate family. So it's just it's not easy, but I like I said, I try to do other things to keep my mind at ease. Because I think if I'm just stuck at this house all day, it's not going to get any better.
Oh God, yeah. Being trapped in the house does not do anybody any favors.
Right? It just allows me to kind of revert to bad habits. Um, so I try to get out of the house. I try to I have a movie pass, so I try to go to the movies just so I can get out of the house. And go for walks, just hang out with friends, just do whatever I can just to get out, or just like go to the store and just look around, just so I'm out of here. Um,
Yeah. Sometimes you got to do it. It's a smaller thing sometimes that helps us get over certain things. Just keeps our attention where it needs to be in certain places at certain times.
yeah, definitely is. It's definitely the truth, man. I mean, mental health is probably more rampant than it's ever been, and I mean that more like back then it wasn't taken that seriously. Back then it was like, oh, you're sad, then get over it. Like now it's taken a lot more seriously,
Yeah.
and which I'm glad it is. With men, I think it's still always going to be the same. Of like, you can't be sad about things. You're a man. Be a man.
Yeah.
So I think with men it's probably worse because
Yeah, because if you're seen, being sad, and I got mental health issues. Oh, quit being a bitch. You're a
exactly.
man. You know.
I have
I,
anxiety. It's
I,
like
I definitely get it, man.
Right. Because I was watching the Dark Side of the Ring episode about Daphne, and that was hard. That was rough to watch.
Yeah, I can't watch any of that.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday.
It just makes you look at wrestling in a whole different light. Like, yeah, I can't look at it. I just can't bring myself to it.
Yeah, this season has been kind of different because I think there's less deaths and there's just more stories about people just, I guess, outside of the wrestling business where it doesn't really have anything to do with the wrestling business. In some ways it does, but yeah, I do agree. Like Dark Side of the Ring, like it's one of those things of like, can we get like, I don't know, Happy Side of the Ring? Can we get stories about people that are doing good things outside of wrestling?
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
instead of just the shock and terror and the hardships of people. Sometimes, I mean, that kind of shit makes money. As morbid as it is to say, but that kind of shit makes money for whatever reason, and it's just like, dude, come on, man.
Right,
it's just not it sometimes. But
and it's kind of funny. I mean, I don't want to say funny, but like it's funny how we're beginning the conversation about mental health, and one of the movies we're going to talk about deals with mental health. So I guess we can kind of segue into that. So Thunderbolts came out, I believe, 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and that movie again. Let's just kind of get it out of the way. Great movie.
Yeah.
A lot better than I thought it was going to be. I know you were singing its praises. You were like, "This is going to surprise people," and you're right. It surprised people.
Yeah. Hell yeah! I know what I'm talking about. I'm a savant.
Hey, you know what you're talking about, RJ. I don't argue with RJ anymore.
Yeah. I mean, because here's the thing, right? I knew where they were trying to go, and you just seen the trailers and the characters, man. Like Yelena's a good character. Red Guardian's a good character. John Walker is a complex character. Ghost, complex too. Not fully fleshed out. I mean, she was kind of fleshed out in this movie, but beforehand, not so much. And like Bob, like that was gonna be a character they was gonna work on really hard, and that's what they did in this movie. But I mean, Taskmaster aside, like I just knew that this movie had there was some juice there that I think was gonna be great. No, but I thought it was gonna shock some people as far as how good it was, man.
Right.
And for what I've seen, I haven't seen anybody really rip it to shreds, except for the normal haters, and I don't even take those kind of people into consideration.
No.
So yeah.
Right. Like, you said complex, like everybody in that movie's complex. Like John Walker, I think, like, what a difference, good writing makes.
Yeah.
Because in Falcon and Winter Soldier, like, again, I don't really know too much about John Walker.
U.S. agent. And, I guess the idea about him is like, this is Captain America, but if he was real. And if you have real issues, shit.
Exactly, and like Falcon and Winter Soldier, like they painted him as like he seemed perfect, but he really wasn't. Like he almost seemed like he hated being in that position. Because I've watched clips back from the show just to kind of refresh my memory, and there's a scene where he's talking to was it Lamar? I think is his name. And
yeah, Lamar. Yeah. He's
talking to him. He's like, "Yeah, we got a Medal of Honor, and that's probably the worst day of my life because of what we had to do." And Lamar's telling him, being a super soldier or getting that serum just makes you more of what you are. Steve Rogers was already a good person, and all it did is just give him super strength, and it made him an even better person. John Walker, not necessarily a bad person, but he was already kind of just a very torn, a very just fucked up individual, and all it did is just made him worse. And this movie, he was almost kind of like my favorite character in the movie, and he was an asshole. Like he was such an asshole in the movie. They're like, he's just talking so much shit, and like everyone's just keep calling him an asshole to his face, and they're calling him, Junior Varsity Captain America and Dime Store Captain America. Like, there's even that one scene, like, it made me go, ooh, and where Yelena is just, like, going off on everybody, and then she looks at me and goes, I don't even need to say anything to you because your wife and kids hate your guts. And the whole theater just went, ooh.
You got ripped a new one.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's just little things. And also the scene where, like, they're tied up and Bucky's saying, he reveals to everybody that his wife and kids left him. And just the look on John's face, like, I can't do anything about it. And Elena's like, holy shit, I didn't know that. So everybody in this movie had very complex, fleshed out stories, as you like to say, fleshed out. Yeah. Yelena, obviously being the star, Florence Pugh is obviously a great actress. She's great in everything. David Harbour kind of being the scene stealer, which he was kind of worrying me in the beginning because I thought he was just going to be the guy that just said things just for the sake of saying them. Yeah,
stupid jokes, kind of like Thor in Thor 3.
Exactly.
Or 4, excuse me.
And then him and Yelena have a nice little moment at the end where she basically just spills her guts to him and says, I'm alone, nobody. And I'm like, oh man. And so David Harbour I think is great. I thought he was great in this role. I wish Ghost would have done more. I just felt like
they still got some work to do with that.
It's like she has a cool power, but it just felt like she was just there just to react to other things that people say. Taskmaster, I think everybody figured what was going to happen to Taskmaster.
Everybody was calling. I'm sorry to call and tell everybody, but your suspicious was right. Taskmaster died as soon as the movie started, all right? Yeah. Is that really a spoiler?
No.
Is it really a spoiler?
I mean, she was never in promotional, work, or she never went to anything with the other cast. I mean, not to say Olga Korolenko didn't do, promotional work. She kind of did, on the side, but she never showed up with the cast. I'm like, yeah, she's dead. She's dead.
Come on. They wanted to dead that right then and there.
And she
they knew they fucked up.
And she didn't show up, in the chairs, reveal for the Avengers. So it's like, yep, she's dead.
Oh, she wasn't going to be in that anyways. Come on.
Exactly.
You thought the Taskmaster was going to be in at least not her version of Taskmaster. Maybe they're going to get another version of Taskmaster up in this joint, but it ain't going to be her.
I think after Secret Wars, you're going to see characters done the right way.
Yes, I think so too.
You're going to see a more accurate version of Taskmaster. For the Spider-Man side, you might even see a more accurate version done of Venom, where you might get a new Eddie Brock or a new Flash Thompson or a new Harry Osborn.
Which I don't mind. I don't mind any of that. I'm not stressing about any of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As long as it's done right, the acting is good. That's all I care about. And by the way, I don't know if you saw that article. By the way. But that guy OT Fabinale or whatever his name is, that guy was totally going to be he totally was going to be Taskmaster. By the way, he auditioned for that. They auditioned for the role.
Right. He
was originally going to be Taskmaster, but they wanted to do a big switcheroo, and they did the switcheroo, and nobody gave a shit about it.
Yeah, because I remember when that guy got cast, I didn't know who he was, and I'm like, is he going to be Taskmaster? Is it come to find out he's going to be Taskmaster? And then they did the plot twist of a character that nobody really cared about. Yeah. And which I'm like, again, I'm not really the Taskmaster enthusiast, but it was more just this is going to piss off a lot of people.
Yeah, it did, because they made it it's not that for me when it happened. I'm pretty sure me and you talked about it.
Yeah,
but when it happened, when I saw it, because remember they dropped Black Widow on Disney Plus that one weekend in, I guess, May a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
When I saw it, because I was thinking in my mind it was either going to be him or it was going to be the mom, Melina. And I was like, okay, well, if it's one of them two, I ain't got no problem with it. And then when that mask came off, I'm like, what the fuck? Who is this bitch? Who is this? Who is this? Never seen this bitch a day in our lives. Am I supposed to emotionally care about this? At least if it was the guy, he was some type of foot agent or something like that. Okay, that would have been all right. That would have been like, Natasha put a little trust in this guy and kind of stabbed her in the back. She's gonna kick his ass. Whatever, fine. Whatever, they can move on from that. If it was Melina, the mom, of course she could be like, oh, what the fuck? You kind of raised me in this little spy family and you stabbed me in the back. I'm gonna whoop your ass now, bitch. Like, that's cool. But to go with somebody we've never seen before. Now, granted, they always planted that seed ever since, like, the first Avenger?
Right.
That Natasha did something very, very dark in her past, and I guess that was kind of tying it full circle, but still, nobody cared. Everybody was like, who? Oh, Morgan texted me like, dude, who is this? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I have no idea. I'm just as shocked as you. I have no answers. When RG doesn't have any answers, that's a bad thing.
I ain't got the answers, man.
If I'm speechless, there's a problem.
Oh,
it's a damn problem.
Yeah, but spoilers. Taskmaster or whatever that was gets killed off in the beginning during a big fight scene. Who was it? Who was it that killed her?
Ghost by accident.
Yeah, Ghost shoots her right in the face. Which that's another thing. Shouldn't Taskmaster's mask be bulletproof?
Yeah, that's another thing that confused the shit out of me. Yeah, Taskmaster is so good at evading things and the photographic memory. She didn't see any of that coming.
Apparently.
Oh my, yeah, like I said, wasn't a fan of that character to begin with, but that was stupid. I didn't care for that. I just thought that they should have just rolled with what they had at that point, and just go from there at that point. But evidently, either A, like you said, they're gonna go and do it right after Secret Wars, which I'm all for, by the way, if they go ahead and do it right, as long as they do it right, or B, they just like, you know what, let's just wash our hands with this completely and fuck the bullshit. Which, once again, I ain't mad at them for realizing that.
Right. But yeah, she gets killed off, and like, I'll get to Bob in a bit. I want to point out everything else about the movie. I thought cinematically the movie looked amazing because it definitely did not look like it. I'm sorry.
Who's the director again?
Let me pull that up real quick. Is Jake something?
Yeah, Jake something. The wrestler?
No, not that Jake something. That'd be kind of cool. No, all right. Thunderbolts. The director was Jake Schreier.
Okay, well, they need to hire him for more work. Well, I like the way he did this movie.
Well, apparently he's in talks to direct the MCU's X-Men.
Okay, all right. Well, you know what? I know directors don't have anything with the writing in particular, but if he has an input on trying to flesh out multiple characters in one setting, I'm good with that. I think he's the man for the job. Yeah, just like I think the Russos are the best for the job as far as like doing the Avengers stuff.
Right.
And having like directing a big bulk of like a cast. I think they're really good for that. I think it helps that there's two guys that get to direct certain things. I wonder if they direct things like separately. Like one Russo brother's over here and then the other Russo brother's over there, and they're just like directing different shit, different parts of the movie, and they just come together for the big ending, quote unquote.
Right. Yeah, like I mentioned, like cinematically, this movie looked amazing because, like, I remember they put out a trailer where they were promoting it almost like an A24 movie, where they're like from the director of, because like the director of this movie, he's the director and writer of a TV show or a TV series on Netflix called Beef, which I heard good things about. I never watched it.
I read that.
The and also writers of The Bear. The cinematographer did The Green Knight. The editor was another A24 movie, and I'm blanking on. The score was done by the same people who did the score for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which great film. And I remember there was a trailer where they were promoting it like an A24 movie, and A24 actually retweeted the trailer on Twitter, and they were like, it was that gif of the chick from Euphoria going, wait, is this fucking shit about us? Cinematically, I thought it looked amazing. And I like the score too. And I want to see more movies like this. Like, I want to see more MCU movies like this where it's grounded and it doesn't feel like there's like big stakes. Like the big stakes should be for the team up movies.
Yeah, I agree. Save the world type things.
You know what I mean? Because like whenever they do these single character movies or these like multiple people movies, and they introduce these big stakes, I'm like, shouldn't the Avengers be on this? Like, doesn't it seem like an Avengers type of deal? And it's like, no, they can take care of it. It's like, but they're not even that interesting. Yeah.
The thing is that I think that, and you're on the mark, but I want to add to it. I think it's important, especially when you have characters that people don't have an investment in already.
Right.
I think it's important, and we're going to go back to this again, but we'll say it again. It's important to flesh out the characters, take the time for us to feel for these characters. Why did the Avengers work so well? Because we got the time, over time with movies, to feel for Iron Man, Captain America, the Hulk, even though he was recasted or whatever. To see a little bit of Natasha and Hawkeye, you know what I'm saying? And then by the time they all got together, boom, we got this. Why did we care about when Coulson died? Because we got a chance to know him over time. They have to really do a good job of making these characters compelling by fleshing them out and giving us a reason to root for them, giving us a reason to want to dip into our wallets, to pay the movie money, to do this, that, and the other, and have that investment with these characters. So why did everybody cry when half of the Avengers got busted? You know what I'm saying? Because they took their time to really get us to the point where we had an affinity for these characters. So
yeah, and
they need to go back to doing that instead of just, oh, Shang-Chi, you want a Shang-Chi movie? Ain't nobody asking for that. Even though I thought the movie, like from a cinematography like level, that movie was shot beautifully. That's why I'm glad that dude is going to do a Spider-Man movie. Yeah. Because, I mean, my God, if he did all that with that, imagine what he could do with like a Scorpion chase scene or some shit. Remember how in the video game where Scorpion stung Spider-Man with that shit and Spider-Man was hallucinating in the game?
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine if he did a scene like that, because Scorpion's rumored to be like one of the villains in the movie. Imagine if they do like a sequence like that and he shot it. Oh my God, that'd be beautiful. But but that's beyond the point. The point is that we have to get a chance to know these characters, really care for them, so that when it's time for them to have those big stakes, when it's finally earned, we can root for them to overcome the odds, or we're just gonna be sad whenever they die. You know what I'm saying? Right. But either way, there's an investment there.
Right, because whenever Disney changed leadership, that's when you notice the dip in quality for the MCU and also a bunch of other things.
They got greedy.
Yeah, and whenever Bob Iger, I believe Thunderbolts is the first movie in Bob Iger returning where you notice the quality, and he made a speech where he said, we're focused on going back to quality over quantity. Granted, that might have been a speech that was already prepared if the movie was successful. But yeah,
I mean, but he's not wrong. He's not wrong, though.
No, I agree with him. What I'm saying is I agree. But again, it's just like these CEOs, if the movie's successful, they're going to have that speech prepared. You know what I mean? But like, no, in this case, he's right. Marvel, we love Marvel, but we're also like, we're not dick writers. Like, we're not going to...
Yeah, no, we're realists. We're going to say if it's trash, it's trash. I mean, there's no way around it. I'm sorry. What you want me to say?
I didn't think Marvels, the Marvels, I just thought, was it the most terrible thing I've ever seen? Not really, but it was almost, in a way, it was insulting to the audience. But, we're not going to get into that. But, like, yeah, this movie, I think, is a step in the right direction. I didn't even bother. What was that?
I didn't even bother.
Right. Unfortunately, I did. Because, I'm a...
Fortunately for you.
Once a bitch, always a bitch. In my case. No,
all right.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm with them till the end of the line, pal. No. But in this case, they're in the step in the right direction because they're going back to taking risks and treating these characters. They're going back to more grounded stories, and taking risks, and to just having good human moments with these characters. And again, like they have to earn these stakes, and the Thunderbolts, I think they earn their stakes in this movie.
They even earned the asterisk change at the end.
Spoilers. Spoilers, even though Marvel spoiled it like a week later. They're the new Avengers.
The new Avengers.
I mean, for a while I thought it was Dark Avengers, but I guess they're going to say that for a rainy day, and this is New Avengers. So, but
no, but I thought the Dark Avengers was more of a villainous team, anyways. These guys are more misfits. They're not necessarily villainous. They're just misfits.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think Marvel is in the step in the right direction, because I'm very much looking forward to Fantastic Four. Like the more trailers I see, the more clips, the more photos I see of it, I'm like, I want that already. Like, this looks like it's already going to blow away like the past Fantastic Four movies.
Oh yeah, all right. But I don't want to jump around too far. But which movie's looking more appetizing to you at this point? Fantastic Four or the new Superman?
Ooh. I'll say this. I think Superman's probably going to make more money. I think, and it'll still be a good movie, but I think it's going to make more money. I think Fantastic Four is probably going to be the better movie. It's probably going to be a better written and better shot movie. Whereas Superman looks like a Superman movie done by somebody that actually likes Superman.
I think off the marketability alone, or not marketability, but familiarity, I think that Superman movie is probably going to draw more.
Yeah.
And plus, they have a lot of characters. They're starting to put out toys, by the way. Well, they're going to start putting out toys for it pretty soon. I saw the display in the back of the store Sunday night before I left. And they're getting ready to put out a big display for Superman pretty soon. So that should be pretty interesting whenever they drop that. But yeah, man, I can't wait till they do what they do. But I think that's going to help their causes too. I don't know if Fantastic Four has a toy line coming out or anything like that, but
they have Funko Pops.
I think they got Funko Pops.
Yeah, they already revealed them.
No, I'm talking about, do they have toys though? Like, do they have figures?
As far as I know, I don't think so.
That little Timmy and little Johnny could buy and play with. Let's be honest, be real. Kids don't really collect Funko Pops. That's more adults do that more than anything.
Right. I mean, I think they will, but like DC, I think puts out stuff a little quicker.
Yeah. But you already see the Lex Luthor toys, the Ultraman toy, which I think I already got a little theory. I think Ultraman's definitely gonna break down to become Bizarro. Whether it's going to be in this movie or not, but I think it's definitely happening, by the way. Hey, that's why he's all masked up and all shielded up.
Yeah,
I mean, beats the shit out of him. It's gonna fucking David Cornsweat, his face is gonna pop out. It's gonna be all pale and shit.
Shit, Superman's getting his ass beat in the straighter a lot, which I'm like, that's interesting.
Well, I mean, if Lex Luthor has, and by the way, how menacing does Nicholas Hoult look as Lex Luthor? By the way,
I kind of want to slap the shit out of him. That's how fucking of an asshole he looks. Cause
yeah, but he looks scary though.
I know, like, because he's not like trying to be over the top and wacky or likable. Like he's trying to be like who the fuck is this alien?
Yeah.
Almost like a racist in some ways, because he's like, Superman's not a man, he's an it.
Yeah, he's an it. Get that thing out of here. Get him out of here.
Shit, while he hides his MAGA hat and his
oh, make Earth great again. Yeah, mega.
Exactly.
He's a mega. Yeah.
I mean, that's how Lex Luthor needs to be written. Lex Luthor needs to be the one who thinks he's the hero in his own story, but in reality, he's just making things worse because like he hates Superman with a passion.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Jesse Eisenberg being like, hey, look at me. Like, no, he's not doing that.
Or even Kevin Spacey.
We don't talk about Kevin Spacey. But
I thought he was, for lack of a better term, I thought he was zesting it up as like Lex Luthor. I couldn't take him seriously. But now Nicholas Hoult looks fucking. He looks menacing as Lex Luthor. I will say that.
It's kind of like Michael Rosenbaum, almost.
He had a slow descent to madness. Rewatched Smallville not too long ago too. But
yeah, because like in the beginning, he almost. I'm sorry. No, I don't mean it. I'm sorry to talk over you, but like,
you good.
Yeah, like, you know, with Michael Rosenbaum, like you said, he had that slow descent into madness because at first you're like, is this guy on his side? Like, is he a good guy? Is he here to help? It's like, no, he's a piece of shit. I think that's kind of what Nicholas Hoult will kind of. But since it's a movie, they kind of have to maybe speed things up a little bit to where you're like, oh no, this guy's fucked in the head.
Yeah. Nah, and it looks like they're doing a good job. I mean, they got a lot of work to do too. Granted, they got a lot of characters they're going to introduce in this movie. That's the one thing that I'm kind of concerned about a little bit. But James Gunn has proven that he can handle ensemble cast. So I think if he's the perfect guy to get this done.
But we'll come back to Superman in a bit because we like to jump around the show, people. But we'll go back to Thunderbolts. Or we'll go back to Superman, but we got to finish up with Thunderbolts. But mentioned everything. Lewis Pullman, I thought, crushed it as Sentry, as Bob. Granted, I'm not the biggest Sentry enthusiast. I just know what I know about him. He's essentially Marvel's version of a darker version of Superman.
Yep.
And originally, it wasn't Lewis Pullman. It was going to be Stephen Yeun, who's Invincible. And he had already like tried on the suit and everything. There was even like, you know, concept art of him, but he had to drop out.
Even promo pictures.
Right, and then he had to drop out, and which he's apparently up for a another Marvel role, which we'll touch base on later on. But they went with Lewis Pullman, who, again, he got more notoriety for being in Top Gun, which it almost seems like a lot of people came out in Top Gun. Besides, I mean, other than Tom Cruise, but you got Glenn Powell, who's like one of the biggest movie stars right now. I mean, he ended up joining a superhero role, maybe Marvel, maybe DC. They got Danny Martinez. It was Joaquin. And now you got Bob, Lewis Pullman. And he did such a great job in this movie because he really fit the mold of somebody who does have mental illness, who like smiles on the outside, but he is so nervous and is very socially awkward. And whenever he does turn into, like, first of all, whenever he came out in that suit, I'm like, whoo, you look like a badass in that suit. Like, you look like a bad motherfucker in that suit. And I liked whenever he just like threw people around. Like whenever he threw fucking Red Guardian out of the window, and then he just grabbed him and brought him back in and just hit him. And I like the fact that the movie is self-aware of like, these people don't have superpowers. They can't beat this guy. So like, they all had the wherewithal to be like, we can't beat this guy, and they just ran out. And you know, you saw the Void start to take over eventually. I also like the intro, like did the Marvel Studios fanfare intro, and you just saw the Void creepily like take over everything, especially the music. And I just went, ooh, this is interesting.
The Void.
Yeah, the Void. The Void was scary. It was almost like a horror movie character. And,
oh man, he was just sending people to the abyss.
dude, I know you. I know you well enough to know that you laughed at that one scene with the little girl.
I was shocked they did that. To be honest with you, I was just shocked more than anything.
Because it's a fucking heartwarming scene of Red Guardian saving her, going, "You're safe, little one," and then Betty was laughing. I was like, "Holy shit! They did that."
Yeah, that was. Because Morgan watched it before I did.
Right.
And then I watched it. And then we watched it again together. And like I don't know why it just threw me off guard again, as if I didn't see it before. But when I saw it again, I'm like, oh my god! And then Morgan's sitting there snickering and laughing. I'm like, oh my god, damn! The women are cold, huh? Like, damn.
Yeah, women are cold.
What did little Susie do to y'all?
She goes to the void. And I love the movie. I gave it a B plus. I probably would have given it an A minus or just like a straight up A. My problems with the movie are not anything that the movie did badly. It's just I wanted more. Like, the movie didn't feel incomplete. Like, I didn't hate Captain America, but Captain America was a flawed movie, and that movie definitely felt incomplete. Like, this movie didn't feel incomplete. It felt like they wanted to. I guess it was more like, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and we want you to kind of use it up to your imagination as to what happened in a more clever way and not like a douchey way of like, here, finish my script. Like, it was more just like, they had to go through what they had to go through. But to me, it was more just like, I wanted maybe 10 or 15 extra minutes. Especially the scenes where, like, they're going through, what do they call them, like the nightmare rooms or something like that? Where Yelena has to go through her, like, trauma of, like, getting that little girl killed. And, to get to Bob in his trauma room where he's watching his, mom get beat by his dad. And then you see everybody else come back to trauma rooms. I'm like, okay, I already know what Walker's trauma is. I have a feeling what Ghost trauma is, because she was trained as a weapon for S.H.I.E.L.D. Bucky's is like, that's like a fucking buffet of trauma. And like, he even said, like, he even had that joke of like, hey, I didn't have a trauma life. I turned out just fine. And then he just kind of goes, It would have been one of those things of like, it would have been, I don't want to say nice, but it would have been interesting to see what their trauma rooms would have been. But granted, I think the sweet spot for them was like, this is a 2-hour movie. We want to hit that sweet spot. And a lot of movie theaters won't carry long movies. If it's over 2 hours, a lot of movies won't have too many showings for long movies. So I think that was kind of what Marvel was going for, and I get it. But again, it was more a thing of like, I wanted more. You know what I mean? That's kind of my thing. Maybe it sounds selfish, but I wanted more.
I think that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to leave you wanting more.
Right. And
that's good. That's good, because now you want to see what they're going to be up to by the time the Avengers swing by,
Right. And
just they gave you a little bit to whet your appetite a little bit, like my mama say.
Exactly. I mean, and also Bucky, I felt like they could have done more with Bucky. And granted, this is a Thunderbolts movie, not a Bucky movie, but it's like, you have Sebastian Stan there. Like, great actor. I would have liked if there was more of a relationship between him and Yelena. By relationship, I don't mean like romantic. I mean more like, if anyone knows about trauma and PTSD, and Yelena's whole thing is, I have nothing, I'm depressed, I've done horrible things to people. Wouldn't Bucky know how to relate to that?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't Bucky be almost like a big brother to her?
Yeah, they've been wasting Sebastian Stan lately in some of these movies.
Yeah,
I thought he would have had a bigger presence in Captain America too, but he didn't.
Yeah, like, it's just, he's so fucking good. Like, he has proven himself outside of Marvel. He just had an Oscar nomination. For playing Donald Trump, of all people. And he just won the Golden Globe. Go ahead.
People, doing my bad Donald Trump impersonation. But
I think we need to keep our borders closed, people.
I mean, Marvel better get right before they mess around, and he don't want to do shit no more.
Right.
That's how certain actors. I mean, we've seen it countless of times.
I mean, they did that with Jeremy Renner for the longest time. They did it with Idris Elba as fucking Heimdall, and it's like, I understand this is a Thor movie, but you have Idris Elba right there. Like, come on, people.
And not to mention, they killed his black ass off. As soon as the Avengers started, oh my god damn!
It's like, all right, Aegis, you're gone. Bye bye.
Get out of here! We ain't gotta pay you no more money.
Yeah,
$50 million my ass.
like they were with him in Ragnarok, which I was glad. And then Hawkeye, they just wasted him in Avengers, and it's like, okay, I understand he doesn't have powers, but it's like, you have Jeremy Renner. Come on, do something with him. And then they finally decided to give him a movie. They gave him his own arc in Age of Ultron, which I was like, oh, okay. We're getting more out of Hawkeye. No. I'm happy. I'm also happy. Personal. I'm also happy for Jeremy Renner. I'm happy that he's back and he's, he almost died.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was going to say that, but not only that, but how many times have we thought he was going to die in these Avengers movies and he's still surviving?
Yeah, with a bow and arrow. Like he was even self-aware about that in Age of Ultron. He's like, we're in a flying city surrounded by robots, and I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense. But again, I'm happy for Jeremy Renner. I'm happy that he stood his ground against Marvel, because I don't know if you heard the story, they were going to cut his pay.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, no, hell no, don't cut his pay.
And he just essentially told him to go fuck off, because he's like, I'll come back as Hawkeye. I love the Hawkeye character, but you got to pay me.
No, exactly. No, he's a good actor, and he's not washed. But you think he's washed because he got hit by a goddamn car?
Oh, not a car, dude. A snowplow. That shit ran over his whole body.
Like, yeah, come on, man. He damn near he got out of a vehicular situation, a very, very sticky, icky vehicular situation, and you want to have? Yeah, no. I don't blame him. Not one bit. Come on, man. It's ridiculous. I haven't had no time for this either.
No. But again, happy for Jeremy Renner. I'm happy for my man. So I'm happy he's doing well.
I remember he got his head. I remember he got his head ran over in SWAT. I don't know why I remember that so bad.
Like SWAT.
Remember that? Remember that? He got his head ran over by the train in SWAT.
Yeah, I like SWAT. I think that's the first time I saw him in anything.
Yeah, he was a bad guy. He had the earring on. I was like, what the hell? I said, yeah, no, he's a bad guy. He's got an earring in his ear. I mean, look at that.
He also played Jeffrey Dahmer, which was random as shit.
Yeah, he's one of the 15 guys to play him.
Yeah, I remember there was like a lot of A-list actors they wanted for that role, and they were like, nope. And Jeremy Renner was like, I'll do it. Like he's like a very non-Hollywood actor. Like he doesn't really care about being famous. He just wants to do the work. And
he wants to do his work and get paid and go the fuck home. I mean,
yeah,
ain't nothing wrong with that. That's pretty admirable, honestly.
Yeah, which I respect. I respect it. I respect when you have actors that are just like, I'm just here to work. Like Elizabeth Olsen really doesn't care about being in Marvel, but she'll come back and be Scarlet Witch if there's something good for her. For the most part, she does a lot of like indie. I like independent movies.
I'll tell you what, she's doing more work than her sisters are doing right now.
Oh yeah, well, because her sisters, they gave her advice along to which was no is a full sentence, and that's how she's been able to have the career she's had. Because if she thinks something sucks, she's just going to say it sucks, and which I respect that, and I fucking love her even more when I hear that. But go ahead.
I say it was straight dookie.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Sentry is great. The rest of the movie, again, I can't say enough good things about it. I want to see more movies like this from Marvel. I want to see more risks taken. Like I mentioned, where not everything has to be a big stake. Like save those big stakes, for Avengers, for the Avengers team up movies. And like we mentioned, spoilers. The movie ends with them being announced as the new Avengers because Val, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who's basically I guess kind of the new Amanda Waller for Marvel, or the new Nick Fury. She's
pretty much.
She was, playing him the whole time because she wanted to kill him off just to kind of tie up any loose ends, but then they find out. And then in the end, she's setting up a fake press conference saying, oh, these are the new Avengers. I found the Avengers. And they're like, okay. And then, Yelena whispers to her, we own you now. And so that's how the movie ends. The movie ends with, like, artwork of, the new Avengers on, like, People magazine and Time magazine. there's a mid-credit scene where it shows David Harbour as, David Harbour, where that literally looked like that scene was filmed like 2 weeks before the movie came out, because his facial hair looks different, and he's holding up the Wheaties box with the new Avengers, and he's like, "Hey, look at me, I'm on the Avengers box," which is funny. And then you get to the meat and potatoes, which is the post-credit scene. Which, before I get into it, Marvel, and this is a term that gets thrown around a lot, post-Endgame, they've had a problem with post-credit scenes, where a lot of them, it just feels like they're introducing something rather than setting up something that the people actually care about.
And stuff that's so inconsequential too.
Right, it's like, hey, look at this. We have somebody. We have a thing. Look, we have who the fuck is the guy that came out in Eternals? Star Fox.
Yeah,
Harry Styles. Like, hey, we have Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Hey, we have Charlize Theron. We have we have Zeus. We have the guy from fucking Ted Lasso,
Hercules.
Zeus.
Hercules, that dude was jacked to shit, man. I'm like, holy shit.
So
and I actually do want to see that paid off. Actually, Thor and Hercules. I mean, if they stay close to the comic books, they might have something there with Thor and Hercules. Obviously, they're not going to be enemies. They're going to be fucking. They're going to be allies going up against. I don't know who they're going to be going up against, but that should be good. But
right.
All the other shit, it's just a lot of stuff that just seems random and inconsequential.
Yeah, it's like the Brave New World post-credit scene just felt like a slap in the face. The fans, where it's like, okay, what we got going? And it's just the leader going, "They coming. They coming.
Yeah, we've been knew that.
I got people from other worlds coming.
I'm coming right now." Pause.
And Sam's just like, "The fuck you wasting my time for this bullshit?"
That's probably what Anthony Mackie was thinking when they told him the film the post credit scene. The fuck you what are you talking about?
Shit, you could have just had a stand in for me, and I could have just been home. But no, I got to be here for this bullshit.
You could have shot me from the back, nigga.
Exactly.
Oh shit!
You could have just filmed a 2-second loop of me standing here looking confused, and then use that, and then have this guy say whatever he said. But no, I gotta be here. The fuck?
I gotta be here for this bullshit. This nigga speaking gibberish. He's like,
"Oh, they coming! I know
coming.
people from other worlds. They coming."
Ooh. Come on, man.
Larry and them coming. What?
Who the fuck is Larry?
I thought it was
Chuck coming with him.
I thought it was Dr. Doom. Nah, they coming.
They coming.
Oh man, but no, that scene sucked. But no, this post-credit scene, like, it got me hyped because ooh, hell yeah! And I think it was the longest post-credit scene that Marvel's done because it was like 2.5 minutes, and it's just the new Avengers. Go ahead.
And plus, we know it's leading somewhere because what's the next Marvel movie that's coming out? The Fantastic Four. So that ties into that. So that helps advertise, and that's how Marvel used to do the post-credit scenes back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, they did the little teaser scene, like what's a good example? With the fucking, what was it?
And Iron Man 2 when they showed Mjolnir.
Yeah, And Coulson was on the phone and this, that, and the other. They were trying to get the hammer and shit. Yeah, like shit like that makes sense. Like that's what you do. They show Hawkeye and this, that, and the other. So you do little shit like that you know is going to be consequential, or just a little bit of a taste of what we're going to see in the next film. That's how you do it.
But like,
it just seems like some of these directors are not on the same page when it comes to that shit, and all these post-credit scenes are not being paid off. There's been no talks about another Thor movie or Doctor Strange movie, so I'm not going to be too harsh on that. Mm-hmm. The Marvels is a flop, so nobody cares, and probably not going to do another movie. At best, they're probably going to do the Young Avengers, which I wouldn't mind that, honestly. I think they can get some mileage out of all that. They did the Young Avengers with the kids. Um, but yeah, no, I just think that they have to get on the same page, and that it feels like this post credit scene was the start of a we're back on the same page as far as like what's happening here is going to lead directly into what's going to happen there. Because I guarantee you that post credit scene, we're probably going to see that. That's probably going to be at the end of the movie for the Fantastic Four when they get into the current Earth in the MCU. So
Right.
they're gonna definitely it's gonna be drawn back to that definitely in some type of way.
Which they spoiled it whenever towards the end credits and they get to the score and the songs. You just see Fantastic Four theme done by Michael Giacchino. I'm like, oh, okay, that's the post credit scene. It's gonna be Fantastic Four. So yeah, that scene was great. It shifted to, was it 12 months later, where
Mm-hmm.
for one thing, that scene was directed by the Russo brothers. So technically, that was the first clip of Doomsday. And you hear them talking, and apparently Sam is suing the Avengers for copyrights over the Avengers because he was trying to form his own Avengers team, and Val made her own Avengers team. So, they're already at odds. Sam and Bucky are at odds, which makes me sad. but was that tension with heroes. And then apparently there's stuff going on in outer space. Yelena talked about it where she's like, there's stuff going on in space, and John Walker's like, oh, I think we have enough space to live. Or like, no, outer space. And then you hear on the Avengers intercom that there's a, what do you call it? Like something's entering the atmosphere. And they bring it up on screen, and you just see a ship floating in space. Like, it's very grainy, but they're staring at it, and then the ship slowly turns, and you hear the Avengers theme, or not the Avengers theme, the Fantastic Four theme, and you see the Ford logo on the ship, and I'm just like, ooh, like that's, like, again, that gets me hyped. I want to see more. Can't wait for the Fantastic Four movie. Can't wait for Doomsday. This definitely gets me hyped for Doomsday. Yeah, that post credit scene, that's what Marvel needs to do more of. Like, do something that actually leads to something. Where it actually means something. Don't just do jokey shit. Like, in some cases, the Captain America one at the end of Homecoming, like, that was funny because that was almost like a way of saying, like, hey, you wanted this is what you got. Where he's like, I'm going to teach everyone about the most important lesson of all.
Yeah. And those are just like tongue-in-cheek type shits anyway, so
Like, that's clever. That's actually a clever joke to the crowd that was expecting a big post-credit scene. Instead, it was more just like, patience. You thought you were going to wait for something but felt disappointed by the outcome. That was funny as shit. But, yeah, Thunderbolts, what else can I add about it that I really can't add about? Or what can I add that I haven't really added yet? Or do you have anything to add about the movie?
Nah, man, you nailed it. You nailed it. I've said my piece.
Yeah, Thunderbolts, I get a B+. B+, or I might even just give it like a solid A. Like maybe like a 9.1, 9.2.
That's fair.
I might just bump it up to just like a solid A. But what about you? What's your grade?
Yeah, 9.1 sounds pretty good.
All right.
A good A minus, maybe.
And it's already made its money back, worldwide. So it's going to be considered a box office hit. So good
That's
for
good.
Marvel. Good for Thunderbolts.
That's good.
Superman, we talked a little bit about. The new trailer came out, which looks different. The trailer begins with Clark and Lois. Lois kind of like a pre-interview of like what people are going to ask him about what happened.
Oh, Drew, let me cut you off right here real quick. I just want to say this before I lose it. This trailer, the trailers I'm seeing for it, how it's shot, the costume, everything surrounding this, looks 1,000 times better than that Man of Steel shit we got like 13 years ago or whatever. Just my opinion, but go ahead, continue.
Oh, I got sidetracked. Someone was writing me. Yeah. This actually, again, said this time and time again. This looks like a Superman movie done by somebody that actually understands the character and actually likes the character. And this just looks so much better than anything else we've gotten lately. I mean, I've seen clips of Superman and Lois, and it looks like a good show. I can't judge it too much because I haven't watched it, but as far as movies goes, this seems like a movie done by somebody that actually knows what the character is all about and wants to kind of flesh it out, as you would always say. And just that beginning where, like, you know, Lois trying to test him but get him ready for what the people are going to ask him, because this seems like a Superman that's maybe like a year in. I'm glad we're not getting an origin story, because it's like that's been done to death. But like, yeah, I like the fact that this is a Superman that's trying to figure it out. And love the fact that they're not destroying the whole city to have these fights, like fucking Henry Cavill did in his whole movie, where he just like leveled that whole city.
Yeah.
Just little things that David Cornswet says and does that not only makes it sound like Christopher Reeve a little bit, but makes it just sound like it's Superman / Clark Kent. Where just that one scene in the trailer where he's like fighting that whatever that thing is, I think it was Ultraman, or no, not Ultraman.
The hammer of
Barava. Yeah, where he's like saying, "Hey buddy, hey buddy, eyes up here," and then he gets him away from the city. I'm like, that sounds like something Superman would say. Like,
yeah,
you know, the big problem with Cavill is that he obviously looked the part, but we never got enough out of Clark. We got more Superman than Clark, and they tried to make him this cool Superman. And it's like, in order for us to
brooding Superman too.
Right. In order for us to care about Superman, we gotta like Clark, and we never had a chance to like Clark. Also, him and Amy Adams had no chemistry. Like, that one scene in like BVS where she's in the bathtub and they're talking, I'm like, did you two just meet each other for the first time? Like, that's the vibe I got from him.
Amy Adams to me is just I don't know. I don't get it.
Again, great actress, amazing actress, but not a great Lois Lane.
Yeah. How she got that part way beyond me. Just didn't feel right.
Exactly. But Rachel Brosnahan, just based off of what I've seen, I think she's gonna knock it out of the park. Like, she did that show Marvelous Miss Maisel, where she's essentially being Lois Lane, and a lot of what makes Lois Lane is the fact that she's a shit talker. Like, she talks shit to everybody, including Clark. And the one thing about Rachel Brosnahan is that she didn't study any other Lois Lane actresses. She actually studied journalism. Like,
because that's a big piece of Lois Lane's character that I think is brushed to the side. And she's this nosy journalist who looks to get just to get the scoop, just to get the answers by any means necessary. Actually, you know, it's funny you say that, right? Because me and my friends watch General Hospital, and they have a character that they brought back from a coma named Lulu, who that's her thing, is that she's a journalist. And Morgan nudged me and she goes, "That chick totally is acting like Lois Lane." And I'm like, yeah, definitely is, right? Trying to just butt in people's business and try to get the scoop. That's what Lois Lane does. So yeah, I think that's important. That's an integral part of that character.
Right. So I think she looks great. Obviously, you know, David Cornswet just is already knocking it out of the park, even in these trailers. Granted, the movie hasn't come out yet, but I think I have confidence. I have confidence in him. I have confidence in James Gunn. He hasn't steered anyone wrong yet.
Not yet.
And then, you know, we talked about Nicholas Hoult. He looks menacing as Lex Luthor. And
he does.
Nicholas Hoult has really proven himself as a leading man and a great actor, you know, post, you know, the X-Men films. And I have faith that he's going to give a very good interpretation of this character. Again, I think is very similar to Rosenbaum, almost, which I think Holtz is going to be a much more menacing.
Yeah, Rosenbaum, he was too scrawny, small, which I guess fit because I mean that was more of a Superman origin story that they was telling with Smallville, so you can excuse it in that way. But yeah, Nicholas Hoult just looks menacing, man. From the first trailer I seen, I'm like, holy shit, this fucking guy, he looks like he's about to tear the whole world up. He looks like he about to fuck it up, man. That one shot of him just making that face just roaming through the hallway. I'm like, oh god, all right. I have somebody's head today. All right, today, Superman. You're going down. I almost feel bad for Superman.
Shit.
I feel for Superman's life.
Shit, he's got people on his side. He got Crypto defending the fucking Fortress of Solitude. When like
that's good. I like that. I like that Crypto's going to be in the movie.
Like he's just barking at what's her name. He's like, "Hey, get on my daddy's house!" And he just like flies at her and just like claws her right in the face. I'm like, "Get her, Crypto! Get her!" And to me, it's just like nothing better happened to Crypto. I'm pissed off. But knowing James Gunn, there's going to be some emotional scenes where I'm like, "Fucking Crypto, come on, Crypto!"
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do anything to Crypto. You don't think he'd do that, right?
I don't think he'll kill him. I think there's going to be a scene where Crypto is badly hurt. And it's just like, oh, fucking hell.
Like, son of a bitch. Why'd you do that?
Like, he made me care about a talking raccoon. Like, that's how good James Gunn is.
He did. He definitely did that.
You know what I mean? Like, Guardians 3 was Rocket's movie. And to me, like, I don't care what anyone thinks, fuck it. I think that's the best role that Bradley Cooper's ever done. Is playing Rocket.
You know what, Drew? You're not wrong, because here's the thing, and I mean, you talked about this before. To me, what makes a good actor is how versatile you are.
Right.
How much range you have in different roles and this, that, and the other. Bradley Cooper, what kind of role does he normally typically play? A good-looking guy, the typical leading man, nothing. The only other movie that I've ever seen him do some real acting in was the movie where he played the war veteran. What was that called?
Sniper?
Yeah. I'm blanking. Yeah. He did great in that. In the movie he did with Lady Gaga, but once again, leading man, romantic guy, blah, 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 blah. But him doing the Rocket thing was totally different for him. And he did a damn good job with that character, man. So, I'm not disagreeing with you at all for saying that.
And, you know, yeah, he's doing mocap work, but he really does disappear into the role because you don't even know it's him. Like, if you didn't know that was Bradley Cooper, you wouldn't tell, because I know when James Gunn talked about when he first did Guardians, like, the one thing they were trying to sell him on was Rocket. And he was like, I don't know about this. And then he drove home and started thinking more and more about Rocket as a character. And he's like, he's a tragic character when you look at it. And, you know, Bradley Cooper, I think, was one of the last people to be hired. And he had already had it in mind. Like, James Gunn told him what he wanted out of the character. And Bradley Cooper kind of knew what he wanted, and he had his own spin on it. Like, he's a tragic character. Because, you know, they point that out too. Like, you know, Rocket's the person that will act like he's the toughest guy in the room, but he's also, but at the same time, he's the scaredest guy in the room. Like, keep everybody away that cares about him. And I'm like, oh man, I know people like that because I used to be like that. So, yeah.
Me too. I think we're all guilty of that.
But yeah, James Gunn is good at just finding. He takes these very minuscule ancillary characters and just adds so much gravitas to them. You know, I mean, he did that with Peacemaker. You know, a nothing character in DC Comics, and he's able to find something in John Cena that nobody else saw and bring it out.
Literally, you can see it.
You know what I mean? He's gonna do it with I mean, now he has a big, you know, more marketable character like Superman, where he's able to bring out something in that character that I don't think anyone else will. And, you know, we're also going back to Superman being a more feel-good character and not brooding and, you know, I'm sad about everything. I destroyed the whole city, but I'm sad. It's like,
Bruce Wayne wants to kill me. Oh, I'm gonna die. Doomsday Q. Back to
Martha,
life.
Martha. Like no.
Oh God.
Yeah, just little things.
Martha.
Just little things in the trailer that make me happy about it,
Oh,
like the scene
man.
where Superman's mom is going, "I got you,
Hey, Drew,
I
say
got
it again. Say it again. Say it again.
Martha." You need to say Martha. Why did you say that name?
What you should. I saw that shit show the other day.
Oh Jesus Christ!
I wanted to remind myself how horrible it was. I'm sorry. Batman versus Superman was the shits, people. I'm sorry. Look, it is what it is. I've made fun of Ben Affleck for years, but yeah, that was not good.
It's like that's how they become besties because they have the mom with the same name.
Martha, which is something that I didn't really think about beforehand. Because Batman's mom is always dead. They don't really mention her name like that. She's always dead. She's dead, but Superman, like, yeah. So I was like, they really do. Their moms really do have the same first name. God damn, ain't that a bitch?
But yeah, just going back to the trailer, just little things where like Superman's mom is saying, I'm gonna go wash your boats for you, in her Kansas, Southern accent, which I'm like, yeah, just little things like that just make me love this film even more. It hasn't even come out yet. Other things that you touch base on, which I kind of agree, which, the fact that there's a lot of characters in this film, it does worry me, but I get why, is because we're seeing two sides to the character. We're seeing Clark when he's with, Lois and his family, and Jimmy and, Perry White. And then we're seeing Superman. We're seeing World of Superman, which is him being with other super people like, Guy Gardner or, Hawk Girl or or was it Mr. Incredible?
Mr. Terrific.
Terrific, there we go. Mr. Terrific, Eddie Cathegi. Yeah. So I'm happy about it. I'm happy about that. I get why. And I think if there's anyone that can juggle this many characters in a film, I think James Gunn can take care of it.
Yeah. Because I would have been concerned if it wasn't James Gunn.
Right.
If it ain't James Gunn or the Russos who have proven themselves and have a track record of proving themselves, then I'd be really concerned. But since it's James Gunn, yeah, no, I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned because he knows what he wants to do. He knows what he wants to do. And I'm pretty sure those characters ain't gonna eat up too much TV or not TV time, but I'm pretty sure they're not gonna eat up too much screen time in this movie. I don't feel like they will, but does they have their own little show coming up or some shit like that he wants to do on the Max?
Yeah, Peacemaker season 2.
Yeah, I know that. I'm talking about with Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl. What's the name of their team? I'm blanking on that fucking
Justice Society.
No, it ain't Justice Society. It's goddamn. What is the name of that fucking team? It ain't the Justice Society. I know that for a fact. It's the somethings. I know that.
Something. I mean, the only Max shows I know about are Peacemaker. There was Creature Commandos, and there's going to be the Lantern show.
Creature Commandos.
Which Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion, he's already going to be in those.
Mm-hmm.
He's already in Peacemaker season 2. He's going to be in the Lantern show, which I'm really looking forward to that. This trailer's awesome. Can't really say too much about it that I haven't already said. Do you have anything to add to it?
No, man. I think the movie looks good. It looks good. Superman. I think they finally got it right after a couple of misses. In my opinion, I'm not speaking for Drew, for anybody else, but in my opinion, I thought Brandon Routh as Superman. I thought that movie was, And Man of Steel, I wasn't feeling none of that. I think they finally got it right with this guy, and I think we're back. I think we're back as far as Superman as a character is concerned. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this movie.
All right, enough said. What else? What else? Oh yeah, Born Again. Was it last month? Like it ended last month. Yeah, I mean, it ended the way we kind of figured it would end, leading up to season 2, which they're already filming. Which they announced that Kristen Ritter will return as Jessica Jones, which kind of figured because the show ends with Daredevil being like, we need an army, and I thought that's how the show was going to end, was that you're going to see Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Iron Fist, team up together and be like, we need to take down Fisk. But no, she'll be back for season 2. Hasn't been said if Mike Coulter will come back as Luke Cage. I don't know if he's still doing that show for CBS, that Evil, which I heard is very good. I heard it has an audience. Finn Jones would love to come back as Iron Fist, and
he is begging his ass off, man.
Which I don't mind. You know what? I'm an Iron Fist apologist. The first season,
season two was good.
Well, no, I was going to point out something else. He came out in one episode, and I pointed out earlier about John Walker, what a difference good writing can make. He came out in one episode of Luke Cage, and they fixed everything that was wrong with him in just one episode. And then season 2 was like 1,000 times better than season 1.
Yeah.
So I don't know, give him another shot at it. Bring back fucking Colleen Wing's fine ass. Like, oof.
Oh yeah, that girl is she's scrum-diddly-umptious, man.
Jessica Henwick. Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Bring back fucking Misty Knight. Ooh.
Oh my god, that is super. She is. Damn, man, they gotta bring that lady back too. Simone Mushnick, something.
Love my Ebony Queen.
Missing. She is 43 years old, and by God,
they only get better with age, man. They only get better with age.
Look at that! Look at that ginger. That ginger don't snap at all, baby.
Hell nah, baby.
Damn, this lady is just. I forgot how fine. I had to pull up on Instagram to remind me how fine she is. God damn. Whee! I'll tell you what, that lady come knocking on my door. I ain't saying no to nothing. want some coffee? I don't even drink coffee, but I'll take it from her. Fuck it.
Yeah, so Betty, she actually started rewatching the Netflix Daredevil all the way up into Born Again, and she saw The Defenders, and of course, she likes Matt for one thing, and she also likes Luke Cage.
Do we need to hook her and Morgan up as friends or some shit? Jesus Christ.
Probably. Like she saw Luke Cage, and I'm like, do you want some coffee? And she's like, actually, I do.
Oh, damn.
Shit. Sweet Christmas.
Good Lord.
Oh, man. But yeah, Kristen Ritter will be back as Jessica Jones, which is cool. Good for her. I'm glad to see her back.
She's kind of hot, too.
Oh, yeah. She's a nice-looking lady.
Yeah.
What else? But Daredevil Born Again Season 2, we kind of know what we know about it. Matthew Lillard will be in it. He didn't really reveal who he's going to play, but he says it's a small role.
He's going to be that character. What you call it? He's going to be that guy.
That guy. That's his name.
Who did Morgan say he was going to be? Morgan told me the character he's going to be. I'm blanking right now.
But no, he said it's a small role, but he hopes he comes back. So, more than likely, he probably won't die. So, I don't know. I'm
because
glad
they know that they got something with this dude.
It's Matthew Lillard. I'm glad to see Matthew Lillard in anything now a Marvel thing. So, good for Matthew.
Yeah, he's good at playing. He's good at playing crazy roles.
And he's like the nicest guy in the world in real life.
Yeah.
He's like the big sweetheart that you ever meet, and he plays like good crazy roles. But what else we got? Spider-Man: Brand New Day. talk. They brought in the stunt coordinator from Shang-Chi. So that's kind of interesting. Kind of tells you what the film might be more about. It's apparently going to be grounded. It's going to be more of a street level film, which good. I'm glad. That's the Spider-Man.
I'm hearing so many conflicting things because one minute they want this thing to be a multiverse thing, then they want grounded, which I'm all for the grounded shit, by the way. Let Spider-Man deal with the multiverse shit when we get to the multiverse shit and the Avengers, alright? But let Spider-Man handle his shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So, what did you hear? What did you hear, Drew?
Well, I mean, kind of what I just said. Street level. It's going to be more street level and grounded.
And about the rumored villains?
All right, so good segue. The rumored villains are as follows. We're apparently going to get Scorpion, so hopefully Michael Mondo, who was teased at the end of Homecoming, which is just like, okay, this dude, like, come on, bring him in. Like, he's great.
Yeah,
he was great in Better Call Saul. Like, come on, bring him back. So he's apparently going to come back. Tombstone is apparently going to make his live-action debut.
Which is good, just in case they can't get Kingpin right now. That's a good substitute right there.
Right. And here's a character I've never heard of, Boomerang. Who's Boomerang?
Boomerang is pretty much Spider-Man. Well, not really Spider-Man, but it was like he's like another Bullseye, pretty much. But with boomerangs. Kind of pretty much like Captain Boomerang, like you would think, but he's deadly with the boomerangs. Like they put a lot of emphasis on how deadly he is with those boomerangs.
Right.
So he's pretty much like another Bullseye.
And the main villain is said to be Mr. Negative.
I'm good with that completely.
With Marvel apparently looking at Steven Yeun, who, like I mentioned before, was supposed to be Sentry, then dropped out, which when I heard he was going to be in a Marvel thing, I'm like, is he going to be Mr. Negative? And I'm like, no, he's Sentry. I'm like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But no, he dropped. I'm like, there's still hope. And now that looks like the case, as he might be Mr. Negative in Spider-Man 4, which... Oh, another cast news. Now I need to pull up my phone, because this lady is an amazing actress. She was on The Bear. Another Bear alumni in the MCU. You got Bernthal, you got Ebon Moss-Backrack. This actress's name is... Liza Colon Zayas. She has been cast in Spider-Man 4. Hasn't been said who she's going to play.
I think we got the picture, right?
If I'm a betting man,
right,
I would think she's going to play Rio Morales. Who is the mother of who, RJ?
Mr. Miles Morales.
Yes, sir.
But you could call me the Prowler. I'm just kidding. Oh, man.
Oh, man. But, which kind of... the actress is a little older, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that they're going to have Miles be older, kind of like in the video game. And since Peter's going to college, I guess they're going to do the storyline where him and Peter meet in college.
Which is not bad.
I'm fine with it.
Oh, yeah, the character's named the Jester.
Okay.
The Jester, yeah. I think he crushed that, and if it's something gradual, then yeah, Matthew Lillard could definitely kill that role. But that's the name of the character.
All right, cool. But yeah, looks like we're getting Miles a little older, which I'm fine with.
Why does he have to be a kid?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, if you had to pick anyone to play Miles, who would you pick?
Damn, off the top of my dome? Well, obviously he's got to be bilingual somehow, some way.
I know...
This kid has to be... He has to appear mixed.
Right.
I think that, some people are like, oh, it doesn't matter. No, it does matter. Especially when his dad is African-American. His dad is usually, let's be honest, he's black as hell. And a lot of the depictions of him. And his mother is like this... her skin color kind of ranges a little bit in media, from like a high yellow to brown skin, light brown skin. So I mean, we're gonna need somebody that's mixed, and I don't know any mixed looking actors that can really do it.
If I had to guess, it'd be
I
someone that is like on the come up. I know
Maybe,
the actor from
maybe.
there's this actor, he was in Sinners, and he's really good, and he talked about like his dream role is to be Miles Morales, and I'm like, wouldn't him, but like you just said, they got to find someone perfect to be Miles Morales, and specifically, it's got to be someone who's the best of both worlds, who is also black but also Hispanic, Puerto Rican. So
See that kid, what's his name that does him in the video games? I think he does a great job of blending blending the African American Latina
Najee?
thing. Najee Jeter.
Yeah,
Does a good job of that. And it feels authentic coming from him.
he's great. But I don't know. It's got to be someone that we're not thinking about, because nobody knew who Tom Holland was, and I think that's what.
And that's the best thing.
Yeah.
To get somebody that ain't in the radar.
Yeah, for Spider-Man, it helps to have somebody who's not on anyone's minds. Because I think Tobey was kind of well known by the time he played Spider-Man. Like, he was known for doing more small marketed, films. Andrew.
Wait a minute, hold on, Drew. Drew, he was in Seabiscuit. Damn it.
No, Seabiscuit was before 2.
Go Seabiscuit. Go Seabiscuit.
And also, he almost had to drop out of Spider-Man altogether because of Seabiscuit. And it was Jake Gyllenhaal who was on standby.
Oh God, Jake Gyllenhaal! Come on, man.
What do you got against Jake? Come on,
goofy motherfucker.
Hey, Jake's great. Come on, I won't sit here for any Jake. Come on,
not my Spider-Man. He's a great Mysterio though. He's great.
Yeah,
I think Marvel wouldn't having him in one movie, but he's great as Mysterio though.
Are you convinced that Mysterio is actually dead?
Not really. I mean, he's the master of illusion, so
he'll be back. Jake Gyllenhaal. It's Jake Gyllenhaal. He's too goddamn good to just be like, oh, one off. It's like, no, they got to do their Sinister Six. He'll be back.
Oh yeah, and when they do it, it's gonna be great. I can't wait.
But Miles, it's gonna be interesting who they pick to play Miles. But the movie's supposed to be filming in August, I believe, and it's supposed to be set during Doomsday, so more than likely the post-credit scene is going to set up Doomsday. But and what's her name? Sadie Sink. There's reports of who she's going to be. She's possibly going to be Mayday, who's the daughter of possibly Toby's and Kirsten Dunst's characters.
Which is cool. I mean, but that better be the only multiversal shot. And if that's it, I don't mind it.
Right.
I don't mind it. It gives us a little teaser. We ain't got to see Toby at all. And that's fine. I don't mind that. That's something different. If Peter's fighting all these villains, he's gonna need some type of help. And if that's the little, like I said, the little appetizer for the multiverse stuff, the bigger multiverse stuff we're gonna get in the movie, then I'm okay with it. I'm cool with it. I ain't got no problems with it. So,
all right. That's really about it. As far as news goes, I think that's pretty much all we have, unless there's something I'm forgetting. I mean, do you have anything you want to bring up?
Madam Web was garbage, and Sydney Sweeney deserves better.
Shit. Bring her in as Felicia Hardy. Fuck it.
Oh, I know, right? That is, yeah, I'm all on board for that.
Shit. Felicia Hardy.
Yeah, she's gonna make people hard, all right.
Shit, got that right.
Damn it. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Shit. But there was some weird article about her where someone said that her titties are woke.
Woke? There ain't nothing woke about that.
I mean, I wake up when I see them, but
hello.
Well, no, like there's this weird article about her where like she's one that doesn't really care about like using her looks. Like she knows how hot she is. She knows she has big titties, and she's not like shy about it. Like most people try to hide behind it. She's like, yeah, I got big titties. So what? Like, I don't care.
Yeah, and I like showing them off. I like showing off the good. Hey, as long as she's okay, and I always say this when it comes to the women, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're okay with showing it off, hey, fine by me. As long as nobody's in your ear pressuring you about it, nagging you about it over and over again, then, you know, if that ain't happening, then there's no case. You know what I'm saying? If you're cool with it, comfortable in your own skin and do what you do, then do what you do. But, yeah, I ain't got no problem with that. There ain't no problem. Ain't no problem with it.
There ain't no problem.
Ain't no problem.
Ain't no problem. Ant-Man, Spider-Man, Batman, Spider-Man 5. No, poor Shannon.
Man, they got not. Oh, good lord, poor Shannon. All right, my man getting exposed left and right, huh?
Shit. Ian was like, "We're good."
That's my Michelle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
right.
I'm like, what?
Right there.
Yeah. This nigga sound like he's about to have a heart attack, man. Like, damn, dog. What's going on? What the fuck going on?
I guess we'll kind of shift gears to wrestling. We'll kind of call it a day.
Hold on. There's one thing too that's kind of interesting a little bit. The Punisher, his one shot thing is coming out, and apparently, a female crime boss is going to be the villain. Man,
Maganucci.
You know what? Doesn't sound bad at all. Because I was trying to figure out who they were going to potentially do too, but that makes a lot of sense if they could piece it together. And that character, I'm gonna tell you something. I've read a couple of Punisher comic books back in the day. That's a fucked up character, bro. Oh my god. Especially from the Punisher Warzone value, I want to say volume 2. I'm not sure. I can't pinpoint what book in particular, but yeah, Punisher Warzone, they really fucking explored the shit out of that character.
Yeah, he throws her in a fucking polar bear exhibit, and they rip off her arms and legs, and she's still alive.
And her head is scarred too, like.
And I think he burns her alive. That's how she dies. But
and she was also in the video game too. The Punisher video game in 04.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, this character's been around and other shit.
I'm looking forward to this special, for other reasons. And the post credit, there was a post credit scene in Born Again where Punisher, he manipulates one of the guards into talking to him, and then he like breaks his arm, and that's obviously how he gets out, and that's how his Punisher special happens. I'm looking forward to it. John Bernthal will be co-writing, so that gives me promise for it.
A lot of fucking hope, because he knows what his character needs to be.
Yeah,
he's a professional. He knows what the people want to see, and he wasn't gonna do garbage. He wasn't content on, hey, I'm gonna just come back and put on the technical vest again and shoot shit. No, I'm gonna do this shit the way it needs to be done. I'm gonna explore this shit the way it needs to be explored, and that's what he's doing. And mad love and mad respect to him for doing that.
Yeah, like he definitely.
Now, with that being said, with my post distress of being shot at and shit like that, and then experience a lot of Punisher-esque violence in person, I don't know how much of the special I'm gonna see, just based off of those type of experiences alone. But I will tell you this much: I expect it to be a banger, for sure. But he knows what he's doing, and he's putting the time and the effort to make sure it's right. And I think it's about time he tangles with possibly a female there. So I think that could be very interesting.
Shit, I'm surprised he hasn't tangled with fucking Karen Page already. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's coming. It's going to be in the special. What are you talking about?
That's how
He's
that's
gonna
how
lay
it's
a
going to
body.
be.
He's gonna lay a body to yo. Shannon Sharp's noises ain't gonna have nothing on Frank's.
One batch, two batch, penny a dime.
Penny a dime. Open your mouth.
Oh man.
You can go back to Frank. You can go back to Matt and ask him how it tastes.
I hit them and they stay down. Come on, Red.
The difference between me and you, Red, is I hit that shit, then I walk for a week.
It's like, wait, why are you calling me Red? Karen's like, wait, why are you calling me Red? I mean Karen.
I'm sorry, dick measuring contest. Good Lord. Well, we know what the next porn parody is going to be.
Oh God.
They're going to punish and tag team and Karen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen in one of these pornos.
Make it
happen in one of these pornos. Oh my God.
Come
Who's
on,
playing
Brad.
the Punisher though? That's what I want to know. Who's playing the
Punisher? I don't know any actors anymore.
What's his name? What's his name? Fucking
Manuel Ferreira. I don't fucking know.
He's gonna be Punisher. And the bald guy that was everything. Yeah.
Johnny Sins or something.
They're gonna put a wig on him. He's gonna be dead.
Oh God.
There you go. Brad. We just handed you a couple more extra subscriptions or whatever the fuck.
You're welcome, people.
You're welcome. I don't watch porn no more. I haven't watched porn in like decades, but yeah, I think that's money right there. I think that's money. If they can still perform, I don't know if both guys are still active anymore, but yeah, there you go. That's money right there.
Oh,
and who's the chick? Who cares who the chick is gonna be that plays Karen? Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't even know any porno chicks anymore.
I should just leave it at that. Mia Malkova? I don't fucking know.
Mia Malkova. She's got a great ass on her.
Yeah, she does. She certainly does. Let's get away from porn. So
yeah, if I get in trouble.
Yeah, if we all get in trouble. Punisher special. It'll come out next year. So dope.
That's gonna be. Everybody's gonna be happy when it comes out, and they're gonna rat to tat. Punisher's gonna be on a killing spree. There's gonna be blood everywhere. Nobody makes it out alive.
No, they don't. This week's gonna be a busy week for wrestling. For any wrestling fans out there, Saturday will be Saturday night's main event. Sunday will be two kind of big shows. Battleground for NXT, and then you have Double or Nothing, which me and Justin were just like, Justin, who's usually more of the AEW, like he's more kind to AEW than me. Lately, he's been like, "Fuck the show."
Well, I mean, they're not giving you anything. I mean, every match is an all-star match, this, that, and the other. It's like, come on, man. And don't get me wrong, I have my problems with WWE, too, with repetitive plots and this, that, and the other. But with AEW, everything is so great and nobody calls them out on it. But it's just like, dude, every match is an all-star extravaganza, clusterfuck. How many times can we have all-star matches? You know what I'm saying? It's always an all-star match, so it's like, come on, bro. Like, the funny thing is, I like a lot of the wrestlers as in AEW. I just feel like a lot of them are not being utilized the way that they need to be.
No.
Having great matches is great and all, but where's the progression for people? They brought in Kevin Knight, but where is he going? Except for having these great athletic contests every week. Where's he going? What are they doing with him? Where's the progression? They signed Mike Bailey. He's this big prized free agent or whatever. Well, what is he doing? Where is he going besides having great matches? You get my point?
Yeah.
Like, what is he doing? I mean, you can say the same thing on the other side too. Like, what is Rusev doing? What is this going to lead to him? Aleister Black? What's happening? It's
right.
even important, So like, it's this thing where people were like, "Oh, the wrestling is great for how are the characters developing? How are they? What's their goals? How are they climbing up to achieve them? They one thing is doing a banger job with Jacob Fatu.
Oh yeah,
doing a great job with Axiom and Nathan Frazier.
Yeah,
but I mean, the thing is that who's progressing in AEW to the point where it feels like they're riding that wave to a championship? You know what I'm saying?
Like their main event guys don't even feel like main event guys. You know what I mean? Like Toni Storm, I think, is the only. It feels like she's the only one that feels consistent in that company with her gimmick. But
yeah,
it's
because you said it. She's got a gimmick. She's got a character.
Like everybody else, like the whole Death Riders thing has just been death.
Yeah, death, no pun intended. Yeah. Oh
at this point, I'd rather like them put the fucking AEW title on like, I don't know, the Rizzler or something. Because
not the Rizzler.
John is just fucking awful. He is fucking awful.
Yeah, people kill me. You tell me he's the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah, what?
I'm like, dude, he's not the best wrestler in his company. He's not even the best wrestler in his faction. If we're being honest.
No, it's just like Dean Ambrose.
Claudio outworks him any day of the week, and Wheeler Useless. My feelings aside, he's a better technical worker than Moxley. Come on, man.
Yeah, like Moxley is just fucking awful. He is awful. Like Dean Ambrose.
His kicks and punches are sloppy, and it's always been that way. Even when he was in WWE, his work was always sloppy.
Yeah, but Dean Ambrose was like... I'd take Dean Ambrose over Jon Moxley.
I don't. I'd take nothing. I wish he would retire already.
Right, and just everybody else, like
people were crying when he left WWE. I'm like, sloppy worker, anyways. Sloppy punches, sloppy kicks. Like, come on, man. He's the best wrestler in the world. Get the fuck out of here.
And just everybody else. And just everybody else in their company, like Swerve. Like, what are they doing with Swerve? It just feels like no one cares. MJF.
Why? Because he's doing this Death Rider shit, and the Young Bucks, who, I mean, the numbers prove that nobody gives a shit about the Young Bucks. The best tag team in the world, my ass. What are they doing? They're doing nothing. A bunch of nothing.
I mean, the whole thing with MJF, where it's just like his whole gimmick is that he wants black guys to think he's cool.
I actually find that a little funny, though. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean,
it's pretty realistic too. In certain social situations, that's actually pretty
like,
funny. And
like MJF, who's not even 30 yet, but he's having a midlife crisis.
I mean, they've done everything they could possibly. See, MJF gets it though. They've done everything possibly in the world with MJF so far, in the 5 years of AEW. So, I mean, this is probably the next big thing. And at least MJF is aware enough to want to be entertaining and do entertaining, compelling television instead of going out there. Oh, MJF, you got to go out there and wrestle. Yeah, you got to wrestle every week. Wrestle these nothing matches, these all-star matches every week. Like, come on, man, give me a break.
Yeah, I think this is basically his audition to be in WWE, just to show that he can do the entertainment stuff. And
well, we've been knowing that. People that have been watching him for years, we know what he can do. I just think he's taking Tony Khan's money, which he's smart. Look, hey, I'm not knocking anybody for taking the money.
Oh,
Take the money.
No, I'm pretty sure Cody. I'm pretty sure Cody told him that, like, get your reps in and make money. If he's offering you a lot of money, you should probably take that money while it's still, fresh.
Hell yeah! I mean, if I'm a wrestler and I can get on Tony Khan TV and get that Tony Khan money, I take it too.
Shit, I can be.
And if I ain't a flippity doodah type guy, and I could just cut promos and fucking do whatever, hey, I'm taking it too. Fuck it.
Shit, that whole company lets everyone do what they want. They would let you do whatever you want.
I'll come out there and whip my dick out and do the helicopter in front of all the chicks that. Well, you know what? Then again, this is AEW. What kind of chicks go to AEW shows, anyways? I mean, you might see one occasional hot chick, but there's nothing but guys. Yeah, I'm not doing that. But
it's like, hey, Jungle Boy, where your fine ass girlfriend at?
I know, right? Dana J, that big. Oh my god, damn, man.
She's hot. She's hot.
That girl's ass is getting bigger and bigger each month. Shit. God damn, Jack Perry don't know how to do all that.
Exactly. It's one of those things of like, I just want to.
Too small.
I just want to get her into a room and be like, what do you see in him? Like, tell me, what do you see in him?
It's just the money.
Like, are you under some kind of control? If yes, nod. Like, does he have like a gigantic penis that we don't know about? Like, what do you see in him?
Oh, I mean, look, hey, that could be the case. That could be the case. And not to mention, I mean, he's got Hollywood links too. I think Jack is one of the rare few that's not hurting for money.
Yeah, probably not. But yeah, those are the problems. But
yeah, and the women's division too seems very stifled.
yeah.
Seems like they'll like Megan Bain. I like what they were doing with her, but now she's doing this thing where she lost to Toni Storm, didn't want a rematch or anything like that. Now they got her beating girls up like 2v1, which is cool. But I don't like how they do that. And Shawn Michaels is guilty of this too. Well, Michaels will bring in a guy or a girl or whatever. They'll fight for the title, and then they'll lose, and then they'll have to go on this whole odyssey to get back to the championship match again, and then they'll win. Like Shawn Michaels does that a lot, especially in NXT UK. But yeah, I don't like that. You bring in somebody like that, they look like a world beater, and then they lose their first big match, and then in Megan Bain's case, it feels like she's doing nothing but spinning her tires. And I do like the pairing with Anna Jay and Harley Cameron. I think that's yeah, that's actually a really good pairing for any man's health. But but nah, just for an entertainment aspect, Harley Cameron gets it too. She really gets it, and I think that that's one girl they might have to look at trying to keep. If not, I don't know if Triple H has got eyes on her, but I'm just saying that's another one they could probably use, because you can use Harley Cameron in any spot. She could be a manager. Her in-ring work is not that bad, but it's not great either. So I guess you could throw her in the ring. But she's one of those people that's like, okay, she's got energy. Which, I mean, I don't know about you, but a lot of women that I know nowadays do not have energy like Harley Cameron. Don't have that Harley Cameron energy. I know only a handful of girls that I can point to and go like, damn, like they bring the energy. And I'm best friends with like two of them, so like, like I get it.
Yeah,
I definitely get it.
She's AEW's. She's their Chelsea Green.
I would say she's better than Chelsea Green, probably because she's got a little bit more freedom to do more.
Yeah,
but Chelsea Green is the better in-ring wrestler, obviously. Like Chelsea Green takes bumps and shit like that. Even though Harley Cameron's not afraid to get fucked up either. I'll give her that. You look at her and be like, she's just a big-chested bimbo. But no, Harley Cameron, I've seen her take some crazy bumps, and she'll bump around and lose and this, that, and the other, and keeps on coming back for more. So I'll give her credit for that. I ain't gonna sell her short. I just think that AEW is so focused on the in-ring product that stuff like that sometimes get scraped to the side. Which, I mean, proves my point. He's on Collision, the lesser watched show. So,
I mean, they're all lesser watched shows, but yeah.
And I mean, my God, Adam Cole, Jesus Christ, how do you cool Adam Cole off?
He's been cooled off for a long time.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you bring him back, and he's just on Collision, the TNT champion. Like, I'm happy he's the champion, but like, even at that, it doesn't feel like enough. I just don't. Them doing.
Do you
doing
know
the whole
do you
Ring
know
of
if
Honor
he has like some
again?
kind of medic? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Cole actually looks like he's been getting in a little bit more. I ain't gonna say great shape, but he looks a whole lot more. Not a lot more, but he looks somewhat bigger. The last time I saw him on one of those Collision shows, I feel like he's got a little bit more muscle tone to him. Obviously, he's not going super beefy like he was in Ring of Honor, but I'm not sure if he has an underlying condition or anything like that. But if it is, then that could explain a whole lot. Obviously, that's his choice whether he wants to disclose that or not. But obviously, that would answer a lot of questions and stop people from questioning that or not. But the last time I saw him wrestle on Collision, he did look somewhat like he had somewhat tone on him. But it's better than what he was looking like last year, that's for damn sure. I was questioning whether Adam Cole was going to make it past 2024 at one point. That's how dire it was looking. But yeah, they have managed to cool Adam Cole off. And that's scary to me. Because Adam Cole has had this ride of momentum from Ring of Honor to New Japan to NXT. And it seems like when he went to AEW, the pop was great, but then the injuries came. And then the storyline with MJF came. And it was good at first, but then it stifled. And then he got hurt. And then the Undisputed Kingdom. I think people are just tired of that too. All those guys have been linked together for so goddamn long. From Ring of Honor, once again, from Ring of Honor to New Japan to fucking NXT to AEW. So that whole, then now the Paragon now, it's a tired act, I think. I know Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, they came into like, their first spot was together in Ring of Honor as Future Shock, so they'll forever be linked for that alone, but damn, man, we gotta move on, I think. We gotta move on. Gotta move on and be our own guys. That's your saving grace, being linked to Adam Cole and, you know, Roddy Strong. Like, come on, man. You gotta move on and do different things, man. Evolve.
Yeah. Like the show.
Which, I saw that last night. Oh, and Keanu Carver and Harlan Lewis, man. They had a good little Titan match, I thought.
Right. I'm not keeping up with it. I need to keep up with it more.
Yeah, I caught up with it last week because I saw the first week and I was kind of like, but then I had to once again put myself in the mindset that, okay, this is developmental. In certain cases, a lot of these guys and girls are green. So I have to really put myself in that mindset that a lot of these guys are learning. So this is like NXT early Full Sail for me, and I have to put myself in that mindset. And I thought it was good. It's what it needs to be. Obviously, Gabe Sapolsky is doing it in a way that he wants to do it, just with a WWE budget, and it shows. They have the standings for everybody who wins and loses and everything like that. So they're definitely doing a good job at making Evolve different from things we're seeing on the main roster in NXT. Just feels different. Feels really different. They give introductory packages to people and shit like that. Just things to really spell out who these guys are and who these girls are. And to me, that's effective. That is still effective. Why certain companies, like, for whatever reason, Triple H doesn't do that anymore. He does it in certain instances, but not in others, and it's confusing sometimes. And why Tony Khan doesn't do it is beyond me. Probably because he books for the sickos, and some of the sickos know who these people are. But A Kid came out last week. A lot of people didn't seem to know who this bald fuck was, so I don't know. People have to be the judge. But I like that Gabe does that, though. That he, at least, hey, this is Brinley Reese. You might have seen her on NXT quite a few times, but it's her story. Here's why she's been involved, and here's what she's here to do, blah, 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 blah. Same thing with my man, with Idris Nafe. He just popped up on there not too long ago. Hey, I was on the team with Malik the Freak. Now I'm on my own. I wanna make a splash as a single superstar, so that's why I'm here in Evolve. Just little shit like that. Keanu Carver. I'm from the hood. Blah, woody woo. I'm here to whoop ass and become the first ever Evolve champion. Swipe right. You know, those characters are cringy or whatever, but they're two playboys who just wanna fuck chicks and break hearts. You know, like that's their thing. Like, so I mean that kind of stuff is simple but effective. And to me, I think Evolve is a pretty easy watch.
It seems simple. It seems like a very simple show to do.
It is.
Kind of like NXT in the beginning, where all they needed was an hour. And that's kind of the advantage of the Triple H booking. Is there a lot of problems? Yes. Could it be better? Yes.
A lot of problems.
But the one thing that you just pointed out that I love is the fact that he's going back to vignettes of like, who is this person? Why should I care? And he does
Mm-hmm.
that. With someone like an Aleister Black, I think the mistake they made with him coming back was they tried to rely too much on, you know, are people going to remember him? And I think that's why his comeback hasn't been as great as they wanted it to be. Because yeah, he's having good wrestling matches with, you know, Carmelo Hayes and whatnot, but it's like
I thought he got a great reaction the other night though when he came out. So I think the more that they're throwing him out there, but they gotta let him talk. My thing with Aleister Black is I like the character and everything like that. I like that he's the dark man and this, that, and the other. But I think they need to have him come out and talk to the people.
yeah,
They need to have him talk to the people. And I don't mean for 25 minutes or anything like that, but let him talk to the people for like a good 5 minutes or whatever.
right.
And let that be it. Why Cody, that whole thing to me worked too, and why you rooted for Cody is that Cody had a mission statement. I'm here to get the championship that was taken away from my dad. And people rode that way from day 2. Because Cody had a goal and people wanted to see him accomplish it. So that was a piece of the story. This, that, and the other, right? Why is Aleister Black back? I don't know.
I was thinking that they were going to have him debut against Cody. Like that, my
That's
whole
what
thing.
everybody
I thought Cody
Mama
was going
wanted.
to come out and like give his like speech of like, well, guys, you know, we lost, blah blah blah, and then you know the lights go out and it's Black, and he just comes out and does like Black Mass to Cody. I'm like, okay, that could have been interesting, but they just had Black come out and just attack the Miz. I'm like, okay.
I mean, that's a good starter pack. I mean, to establish him as a babyface. I guess they have him as a babyface now. Let's see what happens. If it doesn't work, they can always turn him heel. But I don't know. I just don't know. He's gonna have him. At least Rusev. I guess what Rusev is doing is trying to quote unquote redeem people, make them see the error of their ways and failures. I guess that's what I'm getting from his verbiage, but I'm not too sure either. You're gonna break Tozawa's back, and Tozawa's gonna come back being the evil Tozawa he was in Dragon Gate. Like, I mean, if that happens, that'd be great for anybody that's known Tozawa in Dragon Gate. But I'm not too sure either. So I don't know, man. I just think that Triple H hasn't done a good job of really establishing why these guys are back,
Right.
why they're doing what they're doing. I think Penta is hot as hell right now, as far as like reactions and this, that, and the other stuff they're doing with him. I think he's been the guy so far that Triple H has bought in this year that has been riding a fucking great wave to the point where I don't even want to see him and his brother hook up again. Even though I think Phoenix might need it more, but I don't want to see them like tag team.
No, Ray, I think, is going to take a while, but I think Ray can get there. With Penta, I think Penta was just easier because he looks like something. Like, he looks cool. Like, he has a cool entrance, he has a cool theme. He looks like a jacked version of Ray. And I think that resonates with people. So I think with Penta, he had it easier because he has a unique look. You know, Jacob Fatu, same thing. Jacob Fatu, I wouldn't say unique look, but like he just has a swagger about him that a lot of people don't have. And
he's getting over. And I'm sorry, Kev, but I don't know, man. I think you're kind of wrong about Fatu.
No, sorry, Kev. I don't want to.
Sorry, Kev.
Kick more dirt, but come on, man. You were wrong.
I love you. I love you, but you sold this man a little too short. I mean, these people are they're chanting his name every week. He's getting over. He's even got all the white kids saying "yada that mean," like my neighbor's kid. He's like 10 or whatever, and yada that mean. You're repeating Jacob Fatu's promo from fucking top to bottom. I'm all gas, no break with it. I'm raw, uncut with it.
I wish he would still do those promos when he's walking to the just talking in the back. I wish he would still do that though.
Yeah, I think once he get on his own, when he's on his own, I think he'll probably flip back to that.
I'll dog walk your ass from post to post, coast to coast.
But obviously, they're building to him solo getting into it.
Right.
So I think that's when we'll probably see that really unlocked and unchained.
Like, funny story, because like Betty didn't know anything about him prior to coming into WWE. Like, I'm the only one who kind of knew about him. And when he did that one promo at Saturday Night's Main Event where he's walking in the back and talking with Tama Tonga, and he's just cutting that promo like, Braun Strowman, we on NBC. I'm a dog walk your ass from post to post, coast to coast, and he's just talking. And then Betty and her sister just goes, wait, when can you talk the whole time? Like, you just been quiet this whole time. I'm like, that's Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, it's because Solo went around and Solo left him. Solo's a bitch, and that's why Jacob Fatu's like, all right, you want to leave, gang? I'm a shake loose now, bro. Do what I gotta do. And WWE's worst fears came true. Obviously, we all known it, but Jacob Fatu has completely overshadowed Solo Sikoa. Deep down in me, I think they wanted Jacob Fatu to take over the bloodline from Solo Sikoa. But Fatu's reactions have gone so far beyond what they probably expected, to the point where he's going to be the babyface. And I think that's why they brought in Jeff Cobb to take his spot as the enforcer, because they know that he's going to be the guy that that Jacob Fatu is going to go up against, because Jacob Fatu, he's going to be the babyface of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I like him better as a heel, his babyface MLW run, I really didn't care for it all that much. Probably because he tried to do his own knockoff of the Bloodline with fat ass Juicy for now and fucking bum ass. What's the fucking guy's name? The other cousin that's out of shape, Lance Hawaii, who I don't know why WWE signed him for. I don't know why. To me, he's not impressive. He's not a... See, Jacob is different because Jacob Fatu has a deep bag. He doesn't wrestle like the rest of his family members. That's why I be fighting with these idiots online when I say Jacob Fatu is the better wrestler out of all the guys they got right now. He's the best wrestler out of all of them. He is. Because he's got a deep bag. He does a whole lot more. The Usos, Solo Sikoa... That's why I think Solo Sikoa matches are suffering right now, because he does the same thing that his brother does. Mm-hmm. And if you think I'm lying, look at his shit in NXT. Look at his shit when he was in the Indies. Solo Sikoa, even the way he was dressing back then, he was the third Uso.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they cut their hair, he cut his hair too. Like, he's literally the third Uso. But being the fact that he's, I guess, a bad guy or whatever now, he's not wrestling like them. And Solo Sikoa, his weight is just, I don't know, not up to par.
Nope.
Not up to par, so I don't even know if he can even move around like he used to either. So, yeah, he's looking very sloppy right now. Tongaloa was comic relief for all the wrong reasons. And Tama Tonga, I think, is a close second, honestly, to Jacob Fatu as far as being, like, impressive for this new bloodline lineup, but
he's believable. Tama Tonga.
Oh yeah. Tonga, yeah. Despite his size, which I never knew he was that small, because Japan, they they have that weird camera angle where they shoot you from underneath you, kind of a little bit from outside the ring. So they kind of make the wrestlers look, they don't make the wrestlers look small, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, besides that though, he's great, and I can't wait till he's off the cuff, because I think he's kind of holding back too, because all these guys know what the fuck they're doing. Now, where I think Solo Sikoa is finally shining at is on the mic and being entertaining. I think he's shining there, but when it comes to the ring stuff, I got no interest. No. I thought Solo Sikoa has been on the mic. He's been doing his best work lately, and showing that he's got charisma, that he's not this stoic brute. He's showing that he's got charisma and he's handling himself really well on the mic. So I give Solo credit for that. But everything else, when that bell rings, ding, 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 it's like, oh, brother, this is not it. And I hope that Moses, that Triple H ain't thinking what I'm thinking he's thinking. He better not put that briefcase on Solo Sikoa. I don't give a fuck if Rikishi cries about it or not.
Oh, fuck Rikishi. Fuck
Yeah, Rikishi, you gotta give your boy some tough love. All right,
Brother, they need to start pushing him, brother.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. Not if he ain't earning it. Like I said, his saving grace right now is his mic work. Other than that, it definitely his in ring work and his physical. Like I said, he's looking like he's getting fatter and fatter every time I see him, and it's reflecting his in ring work. See, I ain't got no problems if you're big, but if it's starting to show in your in ring work, no, I got no use for that, man, and nobody should either.
No,
so Rikishi needs to sit on his ass. Now, I do feel bad for Jimmy. I think Jimmy is Jimmy's cutting good promos because I mean Jimmy is the more charismatic Uso as far as like talking in general. Because I think Jay is a mumble mouth, and when he ain't got to eat or if he ain't playing off Jimmy, I think Jay is lost. He is lost. Why you think every time he goes like to cut it like a deep promo or whatever, somebody always interrupts him and shit like that? That's when you know that they have no confidence in you as a talker.
Nope.
But they cut you off. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't the four letters, one word, yeet. If it ain't none of that bullshit, they cut his ass off, cutting him off. But I think Jimmy's doing a good job. But like his promos, whenever they let him talk, and the matches have been pretty fun with Jimmy actually, which is surprising considering he's the one that usually getting hurt a lot. Jimmy's usually the one that gets hurt and shit. And I think Jimmy's doing I think he's doing some sleeper work right now over on SmackDown on his own. I think he needs to be rewarded. Not with the money in the bank, obviously, but maybe a U.S. title down the line when Jacob loses it. 'Cause I got a sneaky suspicion he's going to lose it to Solo. I don't want that to happen, but I see it. And maybe Triple H is like, give him a quick mid-card run, maybe push him to the world title or some shit by the end of next year or something. But I don't know, man. They gotta do some things. And Triple H has gotta find a way to shake up some of these storylines too. Because I'm tired of the slow burn betrayal storylines he's got going on right now. He's got that going on in 4 different directions right now. With the Solo Jacob stuff, the A-Town Down Under, the Judgment thing, which I'm not even sure what the hell they're going. But I will give him that. That is not as clear as that's going to go. Obviously, we know there's going to be a point where Austin Theory hits Grayson Waller. He's going to be a babyface. Which, by the way, I had a couple of people in the audience the other day. They were actually really surprised at how kind of over Austin Theory was in that match, by the way. Them cheering his name and shit like that. Even Austin Theory was caught off guard on them cheering his name and shit like that. So that's a good sign. And that's in South Carolina, which is not really known to be, a smarky town. So that was a good sign. But the Judgment Day stuff, I'm not too sure what the fuck is going on there or how that's going to shake up and shake out. Because Dom he's to the point where he's too good at being a bad guy to the point where people actually respect him now. And Dominic has improved in the ring as well. And Liv Morgan is popular regardless if she's a bad girl or a good girl. So that's just going to be that. And I'm not sure where they're going to go with that. I'm not sure. So I will say that. But I think Triple H needs to get off the betrayal thing for a while. And let's get to other stories here that we can develop and cook from. Because I feel like the betrayal plot is becoming really, really redundant in WWE right now.
Yeah, I don't know, push Cross.
Yeah, do that. I mean, he's catching momentum. Once again, one of my friends was at the show the other day. They said Cross, that shirt was flying off. And I'm like, wow, once again, not knowing that South Carolina could be a smarky audience, especially Greenville. Greenville is not as popular as North Charleston, but still. They said that shirt was flying off, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Because my friend because Cross has really good merchandise. Actually, his merchandise is actually really, really slept on. Now, granted, I don't even have a Cross shirt. I got a Scarlet shirt. That's pretty cool. That I'd still be rocking. But I don't have a Cross shirt at all. But by the time I go to try to buy one, even though he puts out a lot of merch, it's usually sold out. So I haven't been able to get my hands on the Cross shirt. But yeah, man, he's putting out a lot of really good quality merch and really good promos. Obviously, that's his strong suit. But I watched that match he had with Tyler Bate on Main Event, which I thought was odd that WWE themselves posted it. But they really posted that up there, and Cross looked good in that match, and he was doing some moves that that he hadn't really done before. And this leads me to ask, you and whoever else is listening or whatever, is Cross boring to Triple H when it comes to the ring? Because we know Triple H is more of an in-ring guy. If you notice, the Raw matches, quality over quantity, quality over quantity as far as like the matches are concerned. Is Cross boring to Triple H? Because Cross is stalk and smash, which we've said for the longest. But Cross can also speed it up too. He can speed it up. He does dives. He does other shit. And in that match with Bate, he even did a frog splash. I don't know if you saw it. I was like, what? It's the Cross doing a fucking frog splash?
It's weird because wasn't Cross at one point a Triple H guy? Wasn't that a Triple H hire? And he was a rehire? Wasn't the story that Triple H texted Cross and said, hey, don't sign anything? Or whatever?
Yeah, it was, but Cross barely wrestles. When he's on TV, it's mostly him doing verbal stuff. So, is it? I'm starting to think, is it the in-ring stuff? Maybe Triple H doesn't like the stalk and smash stuff? Because at NXT, he was killing guys, so that was different. But the matches he had with Finn Balor, I thought were great. Mm-hmm. But those are probably Cross's best matches. I thought the matches with Keith Lee were not the greatest, but I didn't think they were bad either. But they didn't really overly excite me. Not like the Dijakovic and Keith Lee matches did, but obviously that's for different reasons. But I don't know, man. I'm starting to think, is that what's holding Cross back? Because the merchandise is selling. People are organically liking him. The only thing I can really think of is that Cross is not overly exciting in the ring. He's great in the ring. What he doesn't fuck up or anything like that. Doomsday Saito, Cross Hammer. I think that final prayer finish is convoluted as shit. Cross jacket. He doesn't have moves that are particularly bad or anything like that. But he's not hopping around and flying all over the place. And he's not doing anything that screams, oh my God, that's super amazing. But it's not bad either. So I'm really questioning, is it because Cross is not spicy enough in the ring for Triple H?
I don't know. It's just so weird because it's in this era of Triple H, I would imagine he's smart enough to know when something's working. Whereas in the Vince era of things, it didn't matter if you got over. The fact is you got over without him. They were always about oh, you got over, but you weren't supposed to get over. Whereas with Triple H, I would think he's more fair about oh, well, this is working. Even if I don't understand it, it's working. So let's give it a shot.
Yeah, and he's openly admitted that too.
Right. So I don't know if maybe they just they obviously have plans for Cross. Is just at the moment everybody else has plans. So they don't want to.
Yeah, and it's hard. And we say it all the time. It's hard to push everybody. You can't push the whole roster at the same time. But at the same time, it's Money in the Bank season. You have a guy like Cross that's starting to catch steam. You got to utilize that, man. And they haven't announced qualifiers for any of the shows. But look, Raw's main event scene can use some more players in it. Especially considering Jey Uso's the champion right now. You got room to push a guy like Cross, in my opinion. Same thing with Rusev. Rusev looks in great shape. He's cutting good promos. He's looking sharp in the ring. I want to see them do something with the same thing with Sheamus. let's do something with Sheamus, man. It's great that he's having these great matches every week, but once again, where is it leading to? Who is he feuding with? Yeah, him and Kaiser, they can't keep on having matches every week against each other, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta have Sheamus involved with a program. And I heard a rumor that him and Rusev are supposed to be having a program soon, and I hope that's the case. Because I think that could be good for both guys. And I think the matches can be actually really, really fucking fun, too. So, I'm looking forward to that if that's the case. And I want Rusev and Money in the Bank, too. But Cross, he needs to be in that Money in the Bank. And what Money in the Bank is Chicago, right? Is this Chicago? No, Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. That could be good. That could be real good. I think Cross and that, they should definitely do it. Come on. Solo Sikoa, who's dead in the water, man, is in it. Come on, dog. Who else is in the Money in the Bank for the men? Is that it? Solo Sikoa?
I think so far the men. The women, they already have. They put Roxy in it, which good.
Good. They need a ring general on that thing.
They put in Alexa Bliss, which I'm like, ugh.
Alexa Bliss is over, so I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I'm going with women that are over. Who gets guaranteed reactions. Alexa Bliss there's a chance she might do something a little crazy, so I ain't hating it. I'm hating it.
I'm done with Alexa Bliss, dude. Like, she got the big
You know what?
She got the big reaction
what?
at the Rumble, which okay, fine, that's expected.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the Elimination Chamber, she really exposed herself as like she can't keep up with the current group of women. She's been out this long, and Liv Morgan.
And I think here's the thing too, right? She's got to get her body back into that repetition of getting that. And that's why I'm not even harsh on her like a lot of people are. Because hey, if you're asking me 5 years ago, I'd be right with you, man. Fuck her, look, man, get this bitch off my TV screen. But you know what? Being the fact that she's been gone for a couple of years, and she is over. Because I'm sorry, I'm tired of watching women's matches where the women ain't even over.
Right.
Michin, or as my brother calls her, Mitch. Like, I need some women who are actually stars in these matches, and I need women who are actually look like future stars, like Roxanne looks like a future star. And I need that balance. So that's why I'm not harsh on Alexa Bliss. But once again, 5 years ago, yeah, I'd definitely be with you. And if she didn't get pregnant, if she wasn't gone for 2 years, I'd be like, you know what? I agree with you. Get her up out of here. But being like, the fact that she's been gone, I think
with Alexa, it's just like, yeah, she gets a big reaction, but as soon as the bell rings, it's like, okay. And it's not even like a work rate thing. Well, yes and no. But it's like the crowd reacts when she comes out, but the crowd doesn't react whenever she works.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's just like she doesn't do anything particularly bad or anything like that really piss me off. So it's one of those things where I don't mind it. And it's just like
it's just like
I mean, they're probably gonna put other women in there that's gonna do a lot of work rating stuff anyway. So you need that balance of, like I said, you need that balance of star power and people that can actually work. And you got your in-ring generals right there with Roxanne and fucking Rhea Ripley. I don't know who else they're going to get for this thing. They blew it with Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green ain't going to be in the match.
I mean, I would like to think, usually they do those like last chance, like battle royals or gauntlet matches.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm taking her over Michin. They better not put Michin in that thing.
No. Yeah, Chelsea needs to be in the match.
I'm done with Michin. It's done. Triple H back at the Vince fired her, but she's not getting over, dude. It's been, 3 years? She's not over. And once again, in the WWE, when the best thing you tell me is she's a good wrestler, but then again, people don't care when she wins or loses. People don't care when she comes out. That's a problem, dog. That's a problem. Listen to your audience, man. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry to be cynical about it, but it's just like, dude, like, it's time to go. It's time to go. We gotta work on women that actually catch people alive, and Chelsea Green is one of them. I think people was rooting for Chelsea Green. There's more there. There's more there. Michin, what's Michin? What is Michin? Crazy in Korean? Like, yeah, like I guess. She's nice. She's a great wrestler. Like, I don't hate her. But it's just like for the WWE and their audience, it ain't working, dog. It's not working, man. And there's no changes, there's no tweaks to make it work either. On her part or Triple H's part.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, yeah, whatever.
I mean, that's the story of essentially the women's division, for the most part.
There's not a lot of stars in this division, and it's sad watching a lot of them come out and get no reactions. And a lot of them, when you look at Alexa Bliss, say what you want about her, she has that connection with the audience. She has that connection with them. And Alexa Bliss can talk and do all these other different things that's entertaining. She brings other things to the table. And that's one of the things that I kind of admired about her, is that she brings other things to the table. And as long as, for me personally, as long as you're bringing something to the table, I can work with it. But when you're a talentless hack and you have nothing to offer, it's like, ugh, you gotta go. You gotta go.
I mean, we'll end it on here, but it's just like I want to bring up the releases real quick. So, a lot of those releases, with the exception of maybe a Braun, but his case was a little different. And from what I heard, they're going to bring him back as maybe like an ambassador or something. But everybody else that got released, they got no reaction. Like Gigi, you know, she got them cakes, but she wasn't really doing anything. I mean, she was in that tag team with Tatum, which I actually like that team.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And sometimes I hate that too, because it's just like they were picking steam and they were doing stuff at TNA, and I'm just like, why? I thought it was working.
I mean, on the bright side, this leaves Tatum to go back to being a single star, and Tatum gets reactions. Like, people actually like Tatum.
Tatum has a gimmick. Tatum's impressive in the ring. So she's got the best of both worlds going on for her. And I think Tatum's going to be a hit. And I think whenever people see her with a Lyra Valkyria, well, people want to like, but Lyra Valkyria needs a little something. And I think they can ever get her and Tatum Paxley, not together as a team necessarily, but have them around each other to show off their verbal skills and their chemistry. I think that could be good for Lyra Valkyria too. But I think Tatum Paxley actually is the total package.
Right.
And I think her wrestling is really good. I think it's really impressive. And she does these moves that are very unorthodox and different. She kind of reminds me of Daphne. I know a lot of people have tried to clone Daphne over the years.
I pointed that out last year. And I brought it up on the show yesterday because I brought up the Daphne documentary. And Justin even reminded me of it. Like, didn't you say Tatum is kind of like Daphne? I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if Tatum grew up being a fan of Daphne.
Yeah.
You know, there's definitely some comparisons there, and with Tatum, it seems more believable because
she's very athletic. She's athletic, and she can do the unorthodox spots like something like a Daphne would do.
Right.
There's been a lot of Daphne clones, but they didn't have the athleticism like Daphne did. But I think Tatum Paxley comes very damn close, in my opinion.
I think she's great. I want to see her on a more important part of the card. You know, because I think she can be an NXT Women's Champion. Like, I honestly do. I think
so too.
She can really be. She can obviously be a North American champion, but I think she's too good for that, in my opinion. Like, I
agree.
I really do think she could be an NXT Women's Champion, because saying someone's over, like, that's kind of like an abused term. In her case, I think she's over because you hear the reactions. You hear, let's go Tatum. And I don't know. Like, again, in this era of, like, there's so many women and not all of them are over. Tatum is over. I think Thea's over. People love Thea. Kalani, I'm kind of mixed on.
Oh, Kalani Jordan, I think, is going to have a hard time. She needs a gimmick.
Yeah,
she needs a gimmick. She's very, very generic as far as, like, personality goes. The get up and the costumes that she wears and everything like that are very flashy. But I think she needs to I would honestly, I would turn her into a female Mellow. They date in real life. I would turn her into a female Mellow. And when she get ready for the call up, if they still together in real life, I wouldn't mind a pairing with them. Honestly.
Yeah, agreed.
I think she's one of those women that needs somebody to play off of, much like Mello and Miz, dude. That's why I think it's ironic that they put Mello and Miz together, because Mello and Miz shine when they have somebody else to play off of, a la Maurice, B-Team, Morrison, in Miz's case, and in Mello's case, obviously, Trick. So I think Kalani Jordan need that. But I think otherwise, she's going to be in trouble. She's going to be in trouble if she doesn't find a personality or somebody good to rub off of. I think, as far as that women's roster is concerned, Thea Hale and Tatum are probably the more underrated.
Jada?
Jada. Well, Shawn Michaels uses Jada a lot.
Well, in this case, we're talking about women that are over. And I think
Jada's going to be fine. Jada can talk. Jada can talk.
Jada's a star.
She's not bad in the ring. Jada needs a better finisher, though. I think the ass bump needs to be a setup, and she needs to kill a bitch with a choke slam or some shit, maybe.
I've been saying that because it's like a finisher needs to look effective. Like getting hit in the face with her fat ass, I'm like, fuck, like sign me. But no, but like she needs a finisher. That's actually a finisher, because
I
was at Fallon was doing something similar, where she had like a running knee or something, and then she stuck to the famouser. I'm like, okay, that's good. That's cool. I'm fine with that.
Wait, don't you call that move the hold down?
I think so. But
and Fallon's very underutilized too. I think it's about time for her to get a call up. They're fucking up this fatal attraction thing. I don't know what the hell is going on with that, but as soon as it seemed like Shawn Michaels was pulling from the Triple H book there, where as soon as they got together, JC Jane and Fallon Henley have this underlying tension already, and it's like it's bubbling over. So I guess them two are heading for Splitsville, and if they do, both of them need to get called up to the main roster. They've been in NXT for long enough. Too.
Yeah, JC.
And I think both of them. I think they can use both of them on the main roster right now, actually. And I think JC Jane. I was more the Gigi guy, but JC Jane can talk. JC Jane, her wrestling is not bad, but it's not great either. And same thing with Fallon Henley. Like, they don't do anything that makes you go, damn. But it's good enough. It's serviceable, But I think both of them are really confident on the mic, and they're both confident in their characters right now.
Yeah, JC, I think, is needed on the main roster. Fallon.
JC Jane.
Yeah, Fallon's needed on the main roster, like, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. I would send JC to Raw, because I think Raw, they need more heel. Well, both of them are heels, but yeah, I would send JC to Raw, have her hook it up with Rhea Ripley. I would send Fallon to SmackDown.
JC, I think, is a better heel. Fallon, I still don't like her as a heel, because I think Fallon is much better as a face. Because just like her mannerisms and her facials, like she does that thing that I've noticed a lot of women do, where they try to like use their whole face for emotion, and then they open their mouth and widen their mouth. I'm like, okay, I think you're doing too much. Like, you're not a heel. I'm sorry. Like, I don't buy her as a bad guy either. Same thing with Roxy.
Yeah. Oh my God. How long have I been complaining about this?
Like, Roxy Roxy's getting over. Yeah, Roxy's getting over. Like, she's not a heel.
She wrestles like a baby face, and that's a part of the appeal. I think they need to go ahead and just dead that. And it looks like they're gonna Finn Balor's gonna use it to try to break up Liv and Dom or whatever. And like I said, I'm confused in what direction they're going with that as far as alignments go. But it's just like, damn, man, like I just don't buy it. Like, just let her be a baby face. She wrestles like a baby face. She's cute. Let the people like her. She doesn't need to be a heel. And I think same thing with Fallon Henley. You touched on something there. I actually thought they was premature when they broke her, Briggs, and Jensen up. I think they actually need to get them back together. And I think Sean Spears, that whole fact, they need to break that up.
Yes.
That is the shit. Why they got Izzy Dame is probably the most, as far as like physical, believable women. Izzy Dame, oh my God, she be fucking bitches up, man. I love Izzy Dame, man. But she's with Sean Spears, and it's like, Izzy Daniels supposed to be like this tall, I'm all about me, flashy chick, but she's in a dark coat with fucking Sean Spears. Come on, man. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. There's a lot of women in NXT right now is miscast, and I get what Shawn Michaels is doing. I get what he's doing. He's trying to see where people's strengths are at, but I think some of these turns sometimes are very unnecessary, especially in Fallon Henley's case. Especially in the case where he had Thea Hale acting like a heel for a while. I'm like, nobody asked for this. Like, even the Wesley stuff. Hey, Wesley's nice. Nice dude. He's a great wrestler.
Yeah.
Why do I want to boo him for?
People like him in MSK. Like, why? Like, no.
I think what it is Shawn Michaels realizes he doesn't have Wentz and Miguel underneath contract right now, and I think this whole thing is a setup. Those Tyson and Tyreek, I think he's trying to help bring them along. Obviously, kind of like a player coach type thing. But I think when Rascals leave TNA, which is probably going to be at the end of the year, if I had to guess, those two guys are going to turn on them, probably get a new leader, and they're probably going to do the Rascals versus those guys. They have to. And you saw Shawn Michaels tweet it. Remember last week when I tweeted, I see what you're doing there, Shawn Michaels? He's teasing the reunion already in that Battle Royal. He teased it last week. Mm-hmm. If you notice, Wentz and fucking Wesley didn't touch each other at all. Every time they went to go touch each other, somebody broke it up. And then they did the fiery torch flyer flame, whatever the fuck they call that move. They did that to somebody. And they looked at each other and, everybody popped or whatever. So he's already teasing the reunion already. So it's going to happen.
They're kind of like, when they were together, they were kind of like they're modern day Hardy Boys.
Modern day Hardy Boys mixed with DX kind of thing, because that's what they are. They're degenerates. Obviously, they're not gonna get into why they're degenerates. They like smoking their weed and this, that, and the other. But yeah, like for WWE, yeah, you're right. New Hardy Boys.
So, but I do hope that Wentz comes back, because again, I know it's been a while, but I'm still mad about how he got fired. I'm still mad.
They're definitely bringing that. They're gonna bring that kid back.
They're
bringing him back. Shawn Michaels has used him the most out of all the guys from NXT or from TNA.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. People, pay attention to who he's bringing in, how often he's bringing them in. Out of all the guys he's brought in, he's Joe Hendry for obvious reasons. Even though I don't fuck with dude, but like he's over. Like I'm not gonna deny that at all. And Trick Williams is right. He looks like he's got a dad bod.
Oh, God.
Ridiculous.
Well, yeah, like, again, to kind of piggyback on what you just said, like, he was using Jordan Grace a lot, and now Jordan Grace is signed. And
yeah, exactly.
Joe Hendry's contract is about to come up
Expire.
With TNA, and obviously he's going to go to NXT main roster or whatever.
Oh, he's going straight to the. I think to send him to the main roster.
Right, and then same thing with
I don't know. It's kind of confusing though, because he's more of an act, and Triple H doesn't. It's not like he does skits. Triple H, Miz. When was the last time we saw Miz TV or what's Grayson Waller show? We haven't seen any of those shows in a hot minute, so I'm not sure if Joe Hendry's even gonna get the chance to sing.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I think at the end of the day, we feel differently about Joe Hendry, and that's fine.
I think Joe Hendry, he's a great entertainer. I'm not taking that away from him. But when the bell rings,
yeah, that's
a different story. He's very plain Jane, nothing exciting.
I agree.
His body looks like it. And it's like, dude, all this hype for this guy?
I agree. I'm agreeing with you. He's not a great wrestler he's an average wrestler at best.
And I will say the same thing about one of my favorites, Trick Williams. Trick Williams is flashy. He could talk, even though sometimes I think he goes a little too fast. At times he turns into a little bit of a mumble mouth.
Stop.
But when the bell rings, Trick Williams is not great. Even though I thought his best match was the triple threat match at the at Stand and Deliver.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's anything to go off of, okay, maybe he can improve. But Joe Hendry's been in the business for like 15, 20 years. What's his excuse?
Well, I mean, to be fair, most guys usually find their best gimmicks like later in their careers. I mean, Matt Hardy, broken Matt Hardy.
But Matt Hardy was washed. He had no choice.
Steve Austin became Stone Cold Steve Austin 8 years into the business.
Stone Cold was a wrestling prodigy, and Stone Cold was great in WCW. It's a shame that Eric Bischoff fired him.
Yeah, I mean, for the longest time, he was just known as a journeyman who could have good matches. You know, his like biggest thing was the Hollywood Blondes with Brian Pillman, but that was a case of, you know, backstage politics of like you weren't supposed to get over. Like this is supposed to just be like a random thrown together tag team. And then he goes to ECW, and then he comes to WWE as the ringmaster, and then he becomes Stone Cold Steve Austin. So again, not trying to say one is better than the other. You know, in Austin's case, yeah, but you know, for Joe Hendry, like he found his footing with this singing gimmick, and you know, I like him. I'm not saying I love him. I like him. I'm a fan of him. But yeah, he's nothing to kind of like, you know, get a boner about as far as like in-ring ability. Like his whole thing is just the song, and it's getting over. And
that's why I'm concerned about him. And that's why I'm concerned about him getting signed to the WWE, because it's like, okay, if he signs to the E, how is Triple H going to utilize him? You know what I'm saying? Because if he ain't special in the ring, he ain't clicking in the ring, then like, what's the thing? I think they brought him out at WrestleMania for the pop, for the, you know, for the spot, to see how over he was and this, that, and the other, and he was over. He was over. I was mad about it. I'm like, fucking Joe Hendry, shit. But nah, it served a purpose. It was a spectacle.
I mean, that was Orton's call.
And Randy Orton, and I will say for the moment, Randy Orton made the right call, especially if it wasn't going to be Nick Aldis, which apparently they're going to be building to a match between him and Aldis at SummerSlam, which is the right call, by the way, because he gave him another RKO a couple weeks ago at the pay-per-view. So Nick Aldis has got to get his hands on Randy Orton at this point. Unless you want to make Nick Aldis another Adam Pearce and make him a pussy. But Nick Aldis is not a pussy. So they gotta finish that. But yeah, no, Joe Hendry, I'm just concerned because, like I said, we know how Triple H is. If you ain't fancy and nice in the ring, he ain't got no use for you, man. So I'm a little concerned, but I think Shawn Michaels gets it. And that's why NXT to me is the easiest watch out of WWE television, because Shawn Michaels finds a way to fuse the two, entertainment and wrestling, and find a way to make Shawn Michaels finds something for everybody to do on that motherfucking roster. Right. Something for everybody. And there's only so much you can do in a 2-hour show. And that's why people have to go to Evolve and this, that, and the other, and yada, 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 and yada, yada, yada. And he sends people to TNA, which is a great thing. I think that's a great thing. But Shawn Michaels finds something for everybody to. And yeah, that's why I fuck with Shawn Michaels more than I do Triple H right now. But yeah, I can't find anything on the Rascals' contractual status, so I don't know if their contracts are up at the end of this year. I had heard that their contracts were up, but I was trying to see if it's true or not. But their names are not on this list whatsoever, so I don't know. Maybe they're keeping that in house, hush hush. But apparently, Killer Kelly's going to be free in August.
Is she married to one of the Pretty Deadly guys, or am I thinking of something else?
No, you're thinking about Kelly Kincaid.
Who's she married to?
Killer Kelly's with Myron Reed.
Okay, all right.
The other rascal.
Dope. All right, yeah, I think that's a nice stopping point. We did 2.5 hours. And we covered. Oh God,
Moose is signed to 2028. That is great news for me. That's great news. Keep his ass at TNA where he belongs. And Eric Young is working without a contract, but still beating all the young guys. Man, fuck TNA, by the way. TNA gets on my nerves. TNA buries all this young talent. Frankie Kazarian and Eric Young beating all the young guys left, right, front, and center. What the fuck is up with that? That pisses me off. Like that really pisses me off. Leon Slater. Every time I see Leon Slater in a match, he's losing to Eric Young, Frankie Kazarian, fucking Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards' fat ass. I need a double Big Mac motherfucker looking ass. Like, come on, man. Give me a break. Can't stand that, man. That's why people, you watch TNA? Hell no. And if I am, I'm watching for the NXT guys. I'm watching for the Rascals, but then again, it pisses me off because they lose to all the old guys too. It's like, come on, man. What is this?
You sound like someone that we used to know.
Oh yeah, I know. Kevin Castle.
Well, I was gonna say, never mind.
Old guys.
Well, I was gonna say someone else, but I don't know if I should. But anyways, I'll tell you off air. you probably know what I mean. But we are done, and we'll see you guys when we see you. I don't know, RG. Do you want to plug yourself?
Follow me on Twitter at LowRJ Unlimited, where my words have no limits whatsoever. And subscribe to my Twitch channel, the RTJXX. And no, that's it. That's it.
All right, sounds good. Peace out, peeps.
Peace out, people.